Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to the Rhinos pregame show sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. I am Joe Giuliano. Tonight, the Rochester Raging Rhinos, with a record of 8 wins, 8 losses, and 6 ties. They've got 30 points, taking on their former teammates, Conley Adosian, Frankie Sanfilippo, Johnny Steele, and head coach Scotty Schweitzer, and the rest of the Carolina Railhawks. Kickoff is at 7:35 right here at Paytech Park. Some festivities going on this evening. Rex the Rhino, it's his birthday. There'll be a mascot soccer game at halftime, and it is also Food Link Zweigel's Sylvan Night. The first 2,500 fans receive a Rochester Rhinos lunch bag upon entering the stadium tonight. But at hand tonight is the business on the field. The Rhinos entering the game. They are tied for 4th with the Puerto Rico Islanders in the USL First Division. Rochester has lost 3 of their last 4 games, their most recent loss coming to the Montreal Impact, and the former Rhino, Charles Becky, scoring the only goal in that game in the 37th minute. The Rhinos are second in the league with 32 goals against. You get scared when you hear that number, but Rhinos veteran goalkeeper Scotty Vallow may return to the lineup tonight. He has missed 20 games. He's been out for 4 months after getting injured in practice, just making a routine save. Vallow underwent surgery in May to repair the tendon in his right forearm, and he is going to be ready to go tonight. Scotty Vallow could be returning to the lineup tonight, and that should be a big boost for the Rhinos as they return to action here at Paytech Park tonight. Scott Vallow with, again, a mix-and-match defense in front of him. We'll see how he fares tonight, but I think if this is not a big morale boost for the Rhinos, what will? Who knows? We'll see how that all shapes up. When we come back, we'll speak with Soccer Sam. Also take a closer look at tonight's opponent, the Carolina Railhawks. You are listening to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Welcome back. This is the Rhinos pregame show. It's sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. I'm Joe Giuliano. Tonight, the Rochester Raging Rhinos playing host to a team that could become the arch rival. Not yet there, but it could be the rivals of the Rochester Raging Rhinos. Carolina, the Railhawks coming to Paytech Park. They earned a much-needed victory over the California Victory on August the 3rd. They had a 5-game losing streak in USL First Division play, also losing 1 game to Cruz Azul in a friendly. So if you count that one, it was a very, very dry spell for the Carolina Railhawks. In the U.S. Open Cup, though, things have been a different story. On Tuesday night, 2,900 fans were at the SAS Soccer Park. The Railhawks making history as they defeated the Richmond Kickers to advance to the semifinals of the U.S. Open Cup, the 2007 tournament. Final score was 1-0. Former Rhinos connecting on that one. Conley Adosian, assisted by Johnny Steele. That goal came in the 64th minute. And the Railhawks now in the semifinals. They'll take on the New England Revolution in the U.S. Open Cup. Carolina, they are in 10th place right now, leading the way with goals. Cupano Lowe and Conley Adosian. Lowe's got 13 points on the season, 5 goals and 3 assists and 21 points. Adosian, who spent the entire 2006 season here with the Rhinos, has 9 points. He's got 4 goals and 1 assist in 19 games. So to paint the picture tonight, you're looking at so many former Rhinos now coming into town with the Railhawks. Chris Economides, Scott Schweitzer, Conley Adosian, Frankie Sanfilippo, Johnny Steele, Chris Carrieri, to name a few. So the list continues. The Railhawks is known as Rochester South here tonight at Paytech Park. Tickets remain. It's Rex the Rhino's birthday. There's a mascot game at halftime, and also the first 2,500 fans receive a Rochester Rhinos lunch bag upon entering the stadium. It is Food Link Zweigel's Sylvan Night here at Paytech Park. And don't forget, 7:35 kickoff. It's the Rhinos and the Railhawks. Coming up, we will speak with Soccer Sam. You are listening to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Welcome back to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Joe Giuliano, get you ready for the Rhinos and the Railhawks right here at Paytech Park tonight. The Rhinos coming into the game with a record of 8 wins, 8 losses, and 6 ties, 30 points, tied for 4th with the Puerto Rico Islanders in the USL First Division. Let's go down to field level now. Soccer Sam joins us as we're getting you ready for the Rhinos and the Railhawks. Sammy, welcome to the pregame show, my friend.
Joe, how you doing, man? I'm down here at field level. It's pretty loud. A lot of emotion out here, Joe. I saw Coach Callaway and Coach Schweitzer with probably a 30-minute conversation about life, soccer, and more soccer.
You know, Sam, I saw you down on field level before we came on the air, and you were sitting right behind the bench. Scott Schweitzer was sitting down. Did you guys have a chance to even talk, or is he all business right now?
Joe, he's all business. I waited to try to get him to do this pregame interview, and I kind of hesitated because I felt that I was going to get rejection. You know how I am about rejection. I just can't handle rejection. He gave me a look with a smile, and he just nodded his head no. And I said to him, I knew you were going to say no, but I figured I'd try. But he's just in the zone right now. He's totally in the zone. That's how he was as a player. That's how he was as a coach, and I respect that.
It's worth a shot, though, Sammy. I appreciate the effort. Some other former Rhinos here, Edozian, Sanfilippo, Johnny Steele. Edozian and Johnny Steele connected for a goal on Friday or Tuesday night in the U.S. Open Cup. Talk to those guys at all?
Well, Joe, I'm struggling to hear you, man, but here's the deal, Joey. These guys coming off of an Open Cup win. I mean, league play, though, you know it, I know, this is a must-win game for them. If they want to get one of those 8 spots in the playoffs, they must win tonight. And I think Rochester must win tonight. So I'm going to let you go, Joe, because I'm struggling to hear you with this noise in the background. It's really loud here. But fans, if you're driving around, I hope to see you here. It's going to be a fantastic game, big rivalry, the biggest rivalry, in my opinion, this year in the USL. And you're going to listen to Donna Radio broadcasting. Hey, Joey, baby, Giuliano doing the play. I can't wait. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Hi, Soccer Sam. Thanks for joining us from down in the field, getting involved in the excitement tonight. The Rhinos will be taking on the Carolina Railhawks. Kickoff is 7:35 right here at Paytech Park. And the Railhawks, again, coming in a tough stretch in USL play, but very successful in the U.S. Open Cup. They have reached the semifinals. They will take on the New England Revolution. That game will be on September the 4th. Thanks to Soccer Sam. When we come back, we'll take a look at the schedule in the USL First Division, the standings, and the big news from the soccer world, EPL, kicking off this weekend. You are listening to the Rhinos pregame show. It's sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Welcome back to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream. Joe Giuliano. We're getting you ready tonight for the Raging Rhinos and the Carolina Railhawks. 7:35 kickoff from Paytech Park, and this is turning into quite a rivalry, not at the level of Rochester-Montreal, but it definitely has the makings of a great one for the history of the USL First Division. Last night there was one game in the USL First Division, Portland and Minnesota 0-0 at PGE Park. There's 3 games tonight in the USL First Division. Miami is at Montreal, Carolina at Rochester, Puerto Rico at Atlanta. Now, Puerto Rico comes to Rochester on Sunday for a 6 p.m. kickoff right here at Paytech Park. 3 games tomorrow, California at Charleston, Vancouver taking on the Portland Timbers, Minnesota at the Seattle Sounders. And on Sunday, as I mentioned, Puerto Rico here in Rochester, Atlanta at Miami, and Minnesota taking on the Vancouver Whitecaps. Standings in the USL First Division. The Rhinos coming into the game tonight with a record of 8 wins, 8 losses, and 6 ties. They've scored 32 goals, given up 32. Tonight's opponent, the Carolina Railhawks, 22 points. In 21 games played, they've got a record of 5 wins, 9 losses, and 7 ties. 18 goals for and 26 against. They have scored the second fewest in the league, the California Victory, with 17 goals. The lowest scoring team in the USL First Division. Topping the table, the Portland Timbers with 39 points, just 1 ahead of the Seattle Sounders. Both of those teams have played 21 games. The Montreal Impact tied, or in second place by them, or third place, check that, by themselves, 34 points after 20 games played. Soccer fans, it has been a very, very long offseason if you're a fan of the EPL, but tomorrow, all your worries go away. EPL returns to action, taking a look at some of the games tomorrow, and these will be broadcast on the Fox Soccer Channel. Saturday, August the 11th, that is tomorrow, 10 a.m., West Ham taking on Manchester City, the coaching debut of Sven-Goran Eriksson. That's at 10 a.m. live. Live at noon, Aston Villa taking on Liverpool, and then 2:30 tape delay tomorrow, Derby County making their premiership debut against Portsmouth. So 3 games tomorrow on Fox Soccer Channel. My wife will not see me until about 5 o'clock tomorrow. Sunday, we kick it off again, this time early in the morning. 7 a.m. kickoff live on Fox Soccer Channel. Arsenal taking on Fulham. And 11 a.m., Manchester United taking on Reading, 11 a.m. All those games I just mentioned on the Fox Soccer Channel. Be sure to check those out as the EPL returns to action for the 2007-2008 season. And sticking with the EPL, Carlos Tevez, he has finally completed his move to Manchester United. Man United confirming today that the 23-year-old Argentinian has joined on a 2-year loan agreement. So Tevez should be running the striker position for Manchester United this weekend. And Real Madrid has completed the signing of Dutch international and Chelsea midfielder Arjen Robben. Madrid scoring a big one there in Arjen Robben, stealing him from Chelsea. And finally tonight, Major League Soccer, Bruce Arena continues tinkering with his New York Red Bulls roster. He has signed a player who was on trial, Francis Doe, to a contract. The 21-year-old Liberian national team player, he's awaiting work papers. He'll also count as a youth international for the MLS club. Francis Doe had a goal and 2 assists in last week's 6-1 win over the Long Island Rough Riders. He also has 3 caps for the Liberian national team. Big, strong player, built like a cornerback in football, according to Bruce Arena. Argentine powers Boca Juniors and the English Premier League team Watford also showing interest with Francis Doe. So a good signing there by Bruce Arena and the New York Red Bulls. Folks, that'll wrap it up for the post-game show tonight. Coming back, Don Stevens will have the coaches interview, and after that, it's the Rhinos and the Railhawks. Kickoff 7:35 from Paytech Park. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous night for soccer. Should be a great one here tonight. We'll talk to you in a few minutes. You've been listening to the Rhinos pregame show, sponsored by Perry's Ice Cream on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
Good evening to you. Beautiful night, as Joe was saying, here at Paytech Park as the Rhinos get ready to take on the visiting Carolina Railhawks. And for the Rhinos, this is game 23 of the season, and for the Railhawks, game 22. So Carolina with a game in hand, but right now they're not really chasing Rochester. They're chasing the teams that are in front of them. 5 points out of the last playoff spot. It's a very important game here for the Railhawks. Also equally as important for the Rhinos, trying to lock up a playoff spot and needing to do that as early as possible since the last 3 games of the season. They'll be playing the Montreal Impact, so who knows what's going to happen in those 3 games. All right, we want to hear from the coach of the Rhinos, and, of course, as usual, the pregame interview with the coach brought to you by Dodge. Grab life by the horns. Speaking of Montreal, the Rhinos' last game went into Montreal and came away on a short end of a 1-0 score against the Impact. But an excellent game, really a good performance by the Rhinos, and that's what I talked with the coach, Laurie Calloway, about.
I think it was. That's what I said to the players. It was a great effort, guys. The problem was I don't think we had quite enough guys step up and have bigger games. You know, everybody did okay. Everybody worked very, very hard. I thought in the second half we were the better team, and apart from the last 5 minutes when they got 3 or 4 breakaways, as happens when you're pushing forward, we were the better team and had some good chances. The one that hit the bar, the one that was kicked off the line. But, you know, with the depletions we have in the team right now, you know, you talk about your backbone, or still was last week, you know, with Vallow, Burt's, Delicate, you know, you just, those 3 guys, you know, when you're looking for that inspiration, you know, that little extra, certainly in Burt's and Vallow, they bring that. I think they're inspirational type guys, they're leaders, and wave the saber type guys, and maybe that was the difference. We just didn't quite have that. But to go there and play, you know, on an equal playing field as we did with Montreal and give as good as we got without key guys is encouraging for the run in here, where we've got to play them 3 more times. And they pretty much, apart from Pizzolito not starting, pretty much have their full starting lineup out there. So, yeah, we were happy with the performance, although disappointed.
Yeah, well, we're on the subject of key players, and that the word is that Scott Vallow might play tonight, might make his return. Is that right?
Well, yeah, we're starting to plug put the fingers in the dike, as they say. You know, we've been leaking, and you know, I should say levy in this country, not. That's a Dutch term. We've been leaking all season long with key guys out, and here's one, you know, guy that'll probably help stop the bleeding. The biggest one probably because of his leadership and the big part he plays between the poles. And it's all credit to Chase and Nuno for the jobs that they've tried to do. But again, it's good timing for Scott because we're getting some defenders healthy as well now. So he's not playing behind 2 and 3 defenders, which these other guys have had to play behind because we had so many injuries to people at the back. Although we have lost Aloisi this week again to a slight meniscus tear in the game in Montreal.
Right now, the talk about, when Valo returns and so on and so forth, but is that not putting an awful lot of pressure on him?
He wants that pressure. Scott's that type of guy. He's admitted to a few butterflies in the newspaper this morning, which is natural. He's not had a full game. He's had a half a reserve game last week. He's played in 11v11s this last few 7 days in practice, and but he hasn't really been on the field in the big arena. This will be his first few minutes tonight.
And that's Laurie Calloway, the coach of the Rhinos, talking about the return of his goalkeeper, Scott Vallow, who has not played since the second game of the season. He's missed 20. All right, we'll be getting underway very shortly here at Paytech Park. The Rhinos meeting the Carolina Railhawks, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Here at Paytech Park tonight, as the Rhinos get ready to take on the visiting Carolina Railhawks. And glad to have you folks along tonight on a gorgeous evening, beautiful night. I'm Don Stevens alongside Joe Giuliano to bring you all the action here at Paytech Park. The players are being introduced, and the Rhinos with one tie and one win against the Railhawks so far this season. Last time they met was very dramatic victory for the Rhinos, scoring in the last minute, actually just seconds remaining in stoppage time, and certainly much to the chagrin of the Railhawks, Joey.
Dad, it was the best goal celebration you could have seen. Ahmed Diallo, beautiful head goal late in the match, and then he just runs in the net, and he's shaking the net up and down, riling up the crowd, and that was a very, very emphatic celebration, and a big relief, too, after the Rhinos defeated Scotty Schweitzer and so many of their former teammates.
Well, the Rhinos players are still being introduced, and all of the talk about Scott Vallow back in the lineup tonight. And certainly that's the good news, if you will. But really, I can't believe how much pressure there's going to be on Vallow the rest of the way.
Fans have to understand it's kind of like not the same scenario as a David Beckham playing, but, they're playing the Superman music. He's not Superman. He's going to have to get his stride and get his feel for the game. It's great that he's coming back, but he's going to need the support of the big guys in front of him.
Scott Vallow being introduced right now. And he comes out of the Rhino onto the field. And he'll be making his way out. But, the situation is he hasn't played all summer. Basically, this is the first game of a season, and you know how it is when you're starting out a brand new season almost. It takes you a couple of games, as you said, to get into it. So what happens tonight if things don't go that well?
I think Scott is such an experienced player, and Coach Calloway has such great experience in the game that they know going in it's going to take some time. He's got to make some strides. If he does better than that, it's a bonus, but don't expect a Superman performance from a guy who's been out for 4 months.
All right, we'll be getting underway very shortly here with tonight's Rhinos game at Paytech Park. The Rhinos taking on the Carolina Railhawks, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park, I'm Don Stevens alongside Joe Giuliano tonight as the Rhinos meet the visiting Carolina Railhawks. A 28-game season, and this is the 23rd game of the year, and always the fun part of the year when the teams and everybody, fans alike, all looking very closely at the standings to see who's going to make the playoffs.
Not a lot of time left. Some teams have 5-6 games left. It's going to be a tight race. It's going to be an exciting race. And for the Rhinos, what a great way to end the season. Carolina, Montreal. And talk about pressure and action-packed games. We're going to see a lot of that coming up.
So tonight, as we check the starting lineups, which are brought to you by Nothnagga Realtors, Rochester's full-service realtor. First of all, for the visiting Railhawks. And they'll be starting out in goal with a young man that's had a pretty good season so far. Chris McClellan is the starting keeper, and he comes in with a 5-6-7 record, a 0.94 goals against average, which is quite impressive. So McClellan in goal. The defensive role will include Chad Dombrowski, Matt Mayer, Frankie Sanfilippo, and Joey Worthen. Through the midfield, Capono Lowe, Johnny Steele, Chris Carrieri, and Santiago Facilier. And then up front, Connolly Adosian and Joel Bailey. So that's the starting lineup for the visiting Railhawks. For the Rhinos tonight, starting out in goal, Scott Vallow. And if you can believe it, this time of the year, he has only 2 games played, a win and a loss, and a 1.00 goals against average. Vallow in goal for the Rhinos. On the defense, Kevin Novak, Scott Balguda, Jason Perry, and Tenwa Bonsu. in the midfield. We'll see Kevin Burns, John Ball, Aaron Lyons, and Johnny Menyunger. And then up front, it's Ahmad Diallo and Jamie Holmes, who saw his first action as a Rhino last game in Montreal, and very impressively hit the crossbar, but he's getting his first start as a Rhino here tonight.
He must have done some great things in training and in that Montreal game for Coach Callaway to give him the nod over Chad Severs and Ahmad Diallo. So it's a good start for the youngster. Hopefully he'll bring some spark up top for the Rhinos.
So the Rhinos are huddling now at getting ready to come out onto the field for the beginning of this one. As they have meet, and they'll give their cheer to come out onto the field. You know that the Railhawks are feeling the importance of this one, but the Rhinos are also, as they are trying to lock up a playoff spot.
If I'm the Railhawks, I'm head coach Scott Schweitzer, I'm going to tell my guys, listen, the guy hasn't played in 4 months. Let's get some deep balls into the box, some crosses, some players running at him, and see how he handles the pressure. The Railhawks have some big, strong players who come in and do some banging in the box. We'll see how Scott Bell does with that pressure.
Well, the Rhinos will be shooting at the net to my left. Rochester wearing the white uniform with the yellow and black trim, and the visiting Railhawks, the dark blue uniform with orange numbers and trim. And the opening kickoff will be taken by the Rhinos, as again they'll be shooting in the net to our left. Actually, Scott Ballo has a little bit of sun to contend with. Well, pretty much the goal crease is in the shade now, a little bit to the far post. Still in the sunlight, but other than that, it shouldn't be a problem.
There's going to be a little bit of a transition when that ball comes from the corner of the 6. That's got the sun filled on the side of the field. That's where Ballo's going to have to deal with it.
Here we go tonight at Paytech Park. 2-game weekend for the Rhinos as the ball dropped back to the Rochester 35. Taken by Perry. Lays it to the outside on the left wing for Palguda. Into the middle for Perry with the left foot. Will drive it out through midfield. And then headed aside into Rhino territory again for Adosian. His pass off in the middle to Steele, but picked off his foot by Menyunger, and the Rhinos take it away. Perry turns to get away from Steele, drops it off for Palguda, and then he'll hammer it out through midfield once again. Nodded aside on the near wing and taken there by Mayer. Matthew Mayer is the brother of the one that usually that plays for the Railhawks, Anthony Mayer, and the ball pushed out of bounds on the near side. Will be a throw-in on the near side of the field for the Rhinos from 30 yards out. Palguda playing it into Burns, dropping it back at midfield for Perry. Burns to the left foot and slides it ahead for Lyons. One touch off to Burns, but in the way of that one, that's ball taken away by Bailey, and the Railhawks with it. In the midfield for Steele, but getting to it again. Perry able to hammer it away downfield. Offside, the Rhinos tried to get back in an onside position. Didn't make it in time, so the first offside of the match.
Actually, it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos. It'll be a kick for Perry here. I think Johnny Steele came in with the studs up.
All right.
The referee made the call, and it'll be a free kick for the Rhinos. Looks like John Steele is playing just withdrawn behind the two strikers, Bailey and Adosian. Normally a flank player. He's now in the middle of the park. We'll see how he does.
He was almost looking a little like a forward there in the attacking position.
He is pushing up quite a bit, so he's got a good support role for those two guys up top.
Lyons trying to send it through, but the ball blocked away back to midfield. Bonsu, center circle for Burns. Right foot's it long up the right wing side, and Novak running onto it. As he battles for the ball to the far end of the box, it rolls toward the end line. Chase there and rolls out over the end line off of Worthen. Now corner kick for the Rhinos.
Maybe a bit of a break there. Worthen's not happy with the call, and I think it may have been off of Novak last, and he'll have a little talk with the official as they walk back to the 18. But the Rhinos now trying to get some flank plays here. Sanfilippo on the near side loves to attack, but he's out of position at times. That could be a key for the Rhinos tonight.
Corner kick, right wing side. That's the far corner. An in-swinging kick. Off the left-footed delivery, through the back post side, and headed away out over the end line by Adosian. The corner kick the other side now for the Rhinos.
A little too deep there from Scotty Palguda. Takes him off that maybe at the 12. A little deep like that, players running on, you lose the pace when you make contact with the ball.
That was quite the line drive delivery.
Too deep. Bonsu has been a great option for his fellow defender, Scotty Palguda.
Palguda setting the ball in the corner. This time, left-footed kick, outswinger. As he backs up on the ball and set to go. Here's the service. Again, low to the back post. That's headed away in the air and outside the box. Lyons touching it aside. Ball at the far wing from 20. Plays it down inside. Head ball flicked it on goal by Holmes and grabbed on one hop by McClellan. So there you see a little bit of the size of the newcomer, Jamie Holmes, at 6'1", 190. He sure looks like he's bigger than 6'1", actually.
He is a big boy. Johnny Ball, just a nice little chip back into the traffic there. And Holmes is a big target man up top. think it should be a good combination for Diallo to work with.
Pass ahead behind Holmes. It's picked off there. Worthen for the Railhawks lays it out of the far wing. Or at the midfield line for Adosian. Checking back on the ball as he's spotted there by Novak. It's at the Railhawk 35. Drop back in the middle. Dombrowski with it. And we'll bring it through the middle. And now switching to the outside on the near wing for Worthen. Drops it off. Or make that Mayer. Now off in the middle for Sanfilippo. He'll draw it forward to his 25 and back in the middle, giving it off to Dombrowski. Return pass to Sanfilippo. Moving forward, approaching midfield. Dribbling it off on the left wing side. Now across the midfield line. Goes to open space and overlapping on the outside is Worthen. He'll put it down to the 15. Down to the 10 near the end line. Looking for the left-footed cross in front. Heads through the box out the near side and trying to get a kick away was Carrieri, but the ball blocked away out over the end line. So we'll have a kick now, or that was Fusilia rather. The goal kick for the Rhinos. Just getting started. 4th minute, no score.
The Rhinos are going to want to kind of keep tabs on Frankie Sanfilippo. He's playing in the middle of the park, actually, not on the flank. And we know he loves to attack. This time he's doing it through the middle. So the Rhinos may have to adjust, kind of transition to those overlapping runs coming straight up the middle.
Goal kick from Vallo. With the right foot. Sends it out to the midfield line. That ball knocked down and then pushed back into Rhino territory. Adosian in underneath it. Connolly Adosian, the former Rhinos, having quite a year. A little push from Perry, and actually the foul is going to go to Adosian. So it'll be a kick for the Rhinos from their own 20 on the near side.
Not much resistance there from Adosian. I thought he had a beef there to fight for the call there.
Well, I thought the foul was on Perry.
I thought so too. So the Rhinos will take it. Scott Vallo gets a first touch 5 minutes in. And already directing traffic, being the orchestrator from the back.
Now delivers it through midfield. Gets a much better kick this time around. And a flick forward by Holmes. Trying to nod it to the outside is Diallo, but up in the air. Kicked away out across midfield by Dombrowski. Throw in at the midfield line on the near side for the Rhinos. And Palgudu stepping up for the throw in.
The Rhinos, they should enter this match with a ton of confidence after that Montreal game where they had a great run of the play. Just a little bit unlucky playing at a very difficult venue.
Flick toward midfield, knocked aside, up in the air, Steele. Couldn't control, ball in underneath it. Finally settled the feet by Lyons. He'll drop it to his own side of midfield for Perry. Plays it all the way back to Vallo. Has it inside of his 18, knocking it down with the right foot. 6 minute, no score here at Paytech, and Vallo will then drive it away through midfield. Up they go, flick forward at the 30. Dombrowski for the Railhawks will volley it high through midfield into Rhino territory, and Novak sends it the other way. As the ball knocked away on the far side at the midfield line is kept in play and now knocked out of bounds. So a throw in on the far side for the Rhinos near the midfield line.
See a lot of changes here from Scott Schweitzer and the Railhawks. Johnny Steele playing in the middle of the park now. Sanfilippo's a central defender, and Cupano Lowe actually set up as a defensive midfielder. Let's not forget, he's the leading scorer for the team, and he's way deep in a defensive position.
Might be a little trickery on the part of the Railhawks.
I think he's
trying to confuse the Rhinos
with a different look and having the Rhinos see what they can do to adjust.
Hammered out to the 20. Holmes got to it, but bounced long off his foot out near midfield. Tackled away by Perry, but carrying on now Steele for the Railhawks at the right side, and Bailey couldn't get to it. Back to play it off his Bonsu to Vallo, and the Rhino keeper has the ball. Rolls it ahead just outside the box. Joel Bailey coming over from Vancouver last couple of games. Has a goal, actually had a goal in his first game in Carolina. He's got 1 goal in Carolina, 1 assist in Vancouver this season.
Some big shakeups. Testo and Jertson going to Montreal. Bailey coming to Carolina. So very interesting to see how the moves are late in the season.
Nice flick forward by Holmes for Diallo as he turns to the 35, trying to get loose, but Lowe will take it. And the foul is called on Diallo for grabbing on. You know what? I would have gone the other way. That maybe this referee has things turned around.
Yeah, I think a couple of times now you think the call is going the other way, and the opposite team takes the kick. A little surprising.
So across midfield, as the ball is played forward to Bailey, turns to the outside, far into the box, chased there by Bonsu. Bailey on the left wing side. It's not Joel, it's Joel. At the 35 and on top, carried forward by Worthen. As he gets slowed up, able to tip it to the outside once again. There's a cross down along the 18, deflected into the end line and scooped up there by Vallo, and he holds on as he waits for the players to move away.
The Railhawks are not afraid to get numbers forward on that last cross there. There was Steele, Adosian, and Worthen.
Well, Vallo's kicking it high in the air. I think he meant to tip it off into the stands because Bailey was still down on the pitch, down inside the box. He gets up now. He goes back to a knee as the ball is kicked out of bounds. So we'll have a momentary stoppage here. We have sponsors of these broadcasts brought to you all season long. Health Source Chiropractic, your partners in complete health. Dr. Donald Dudley, the official chiropractic provider of the Rochester Sports Group. By Power Trip, Get of the Game. By Salvatore's, they deliver everything but babies. All right, throw in, back to the Rhinos, as Bailey is up and all right.
And not sure if there's even contact or he got his foot caught in the turf there. But again, there were 3 Railhawk players around 1 Rhino defender. So again, that shows their commitment to attack and get numbers forward.
Well, Holmes trying to go up for the, now foul is called, and that on Worthen of the Railhawks. Before that, Holmes trying to go up for the ball was grabbed onto, pulled by Dombrowski, but no call made. But now the call is made, and this time it's the right way around.
The Railhawks, no strangers to playing physical, even at times very ugly. A very tough, hard-nosed team, and they're coming in. No nonsense tonight, but at times it's not very attractive soccer.
Lines, a left-footed kicker, 30 yards out off the right wing side. 2-man wall, setting at about the 23.
You get teams who struggle, they have trouble with the flow of the game, and they just resort to some of the choppy play.
And Lines going down for the back post side, up in the air, brought down by McClellan as 3, comes down with the ball in the 6-yard box and brings it away. 10th minute at Paytech, no score.
Service is a little off the mark for the Rhinos early on. Got to get that rhythm and that precise touchdown. McClellan, that'll be a routine save for him.
That volley kick through midfield, long kick downfield by McClellan. Headed aside Novak for Lines and turns up the right wing on him as Adosia knocks him over. The ball is grabbed onto and a foul is called, and the Rhinos have it on the restart.
You can see now, again, the Railhawks already resorting to some of the chippy play, trying to slow the pace down. If the Rhinos get some rhythm, Carolina, the visiting team, may be in for some trouble. So now you foul, you knock players down, and the Rhinos can't get that flow of the game going. And that's been a tactic I think Carolina's done all year long.
And to the midfield line, Bonsu to Burns, dropping it back for Tenwell Bonsu, and long up the right wing side, looking for open space. Worthy gets a toe on it. On the far side, and he's bowled over, sent flying by Holmes. And that shows you a little bit of the size and strength right there of Jamie Holmes.
He is a horse, scoring 3 goals in the USL, coming in here to Rochester, and he's got a point to prove. He's got a great opportunity to impress the Rhinos, impress Coach Callaway, to make his stay just a little bit longer at the USL First Division.
Well, that's a little bit closer to what the Rhinos would have with Delicott in there, a little bit more of his size. So a big guy to go along with Diallo versus Mike Ambersley, for example, a smaller guy.
Or Johnny Manyanger.
Or Manyanger. Yeah. So it's a little bit closer to what the Rhinos should have come playoff time, and as they hopefully will be getting Delicott back. Brought forward by Ball across midfield, chasing behind by Steele. Turns it to the right side. Holmes blocking it forward. Moving it, right-footed blast. In. Scores! Jamie Holmes, first goal as a Rhino. Bested inside the left post. Beautiful feed from Ball, and the Rhinos up 1-0.
Well, Don, we talked about the guy trying to impress the Rhinos and make his stay here a little longer. John Ball does a great job pushing it up over midfield. He's got players all around him. Everyone's playing the trap except for Frankie Sanfilippo. Major mistake, and Jamie Holmes takes his time, buries it with the right foot. Poor defensive shape there by the Railhawks, and Holmes makes him pay.
Nice feed by Ball, just barely able to sneak it by the leg of a defender, and a perfectly placed shot by Holmes. Long delivery up the right wing side, chased deep to the corner. Fusilier on the heels of Palguda, and they block as Fusilier blocked away. The ball rolls out, throw in deep in the corner for the Rhinos.
Sanfilippo again, not a normal central defender. Gets caught up in big mistake there by the defender.
Goal at the Rochester Rhino, number 9, Jamie Holmes. Assisted by number 13, John Ball.
So Holmes with his first goal, Ball picking up the assist, now has a goal and 2 assists for 4 points on the season. It's Steele at the Rochester 35, plays it off in the middle. Novak gets to it to tip it aside and take it by Manyanger. Turns it to the outside of the right wing for Ball and tried to feed across midfield, but blocked away and out of bounds. Last game, the Railhawks coming up with a victory over California, but they had gone, 8 games before that without a win. Oh, that's not counting their Open Cup win.
And they had the luck of the draw in the Open Cup.
Yeah, they ended up playing Richmond from Division III last game and with a victory. That sends Carolina to the semifinals in the U.S. Open Cup. Now there's 2 teams out of this division in the Open Cup, Seattle being the other one.
And Seattle put a beating on Colorado, 5-0.
Did you believe that score?
I was shocked when I saw that.
Free kick for the Railhawks, 35 yards out off the left wing side. Hammered down inside the box, knocked away and blocked out. Moving in underneath it, Carriere, a right-footed kick, and he puts it about a mile high and a couple of months wide.
You know, Carriere was a guy who came to Major League Soccer with Colorado, and they had all the hopes in the world for him to be one of the premier players in Major League Soccer. It didn't pan out for him, attitudes and conflicts with coaches, and now he's trying to make a go of it again. But he's got to have a better effort than that. He's almost not even carrying on that shot.
14th minute, the Rhinos up 1-0. Goal kick from Scott Vallow, who returns tonight. With the right foot, sends it out through midfield. Coming down through the center circle, that's a flick forward from Menyonger in underneath it as he's blocked there. Drops it back at midfield, and Palguda chips it up the left side. As it is out of bounds, a giveaway by the Rhinos. Throw in or the Railhawks throwing into the field from around 30 yards out on the near side. Mayer with the throw into midfield, but right to Palguda. Heads it up in the air. Lyons trying to knock it forward with a head ball. Palguda gets to it, sends it to open space on the left wing, and chasing onto it goes Diallo. At the near end of the 18 to the end line. Trying to sneak through, but tackled away out over the end line by Sanfilippo. A corner kick for the Rhinos.
I think for the Rhinos, what's going to be successful tonight is if they attack the Railhawks right down the gut, right down the middle. Johnny Steele, normally a flank player. Sanfilippo, a flank player. They're transitioning into that middle of the park role. They're not comfortable there. And I think the Rhinos going to have a lot of success going right at those guys.
Palguda with the corner kick off the left wing side. A little bit more of a floater this time around, up in the air, and McClellan pulls it down at about his 7th, just outside the 6-yard box. Bonsu is there, ready to tee it up. However, McClellan coming down with the ball.
Yeah, the teeing up has got to be between that 6 and the 12, where the keeper kind of guesses, do I come off or do I stay? The service, again, just a little too easy for the keeper.
Well, I just noticed something. When McClellan went up for the ball, came down with it, I thought, what the heck's the referee doing?
You know what? I just thought the same thing. I saw him sprinting. I thought it was McClellan, but it's the official.
They're both wearing the red jerseys and black shorts tonight. Diallo looking for the through ball inside the 18. Shot in, but that's booted wide out over the end line by Worthen. Or going to make it to the end line. Is it a corner or a throw in?
Should be a... Well,
looks like it's going to be a throw in. Yep. As the ball to Burns, back to the outside for Palguda. Left foots it down inside the box. Head ball in. It's grabbed off the line by McClellan. Nice head ball by Holmes. He's had 3 opportunities so far.
I love the fire and the intensity. Jamie Holmes. Look what a goal scoring. Look what a goal does for his confidence. He is all over the place, and the Rhinos now not afraid to feed him as he gets right in the mix, and could be a great find here late in the season.
McClellan rolling the ball forward. Sends it downfield into Rhino territory. That's to our right here in the first half of play. To the outside. Adosian blocked off the ball. It rolls out. Got away from him. Throw in for the Rhinos from their own 25.
And one tendency or one little habit I'm noticing with Frankie Sanfilippo, he wants to be involved in every play. So he really pushes from the middle to the flanks. And then he's exposed, leaving some space right down the middle. It's a little overzealous there for Sanfilippo.
Well, there's certainly one thing that we've always known about Frankie Sanfilippo, and that he goes all out. He goes the extra mile, and so that is no surprise that he would be a little overzealous. Pushed out on the far side, out of bounds.
He is involved everywhere. That's good and bad.
Well, you can't teach the other way.
It's not going to stop. It's not going to change at this point.
Long down inside the box. It'll skip right through the 18 out over the end line and a goal kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts include RIT and everything you need to be perfectly comfortable. Zweigel's, the official hot dog at Paytech Park. And by Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos.
Scott Vallow, little soft touches here and there, nothing crazy. It's a great way to get himself back in the flow of things, and the goal early on. That'll do a lot of confidence for the guys up top, but also for the defenders to build off of.
Delivered through midfield. Holmes with a flick forward to Menyonger, touching it for Lyons, and now feeds it through in and behind Diallo. That's called on the offside. The whistle blows, and almost perfectly timed, just a step ahead.
Diallo, though, he's got such experience, and he's such a smart player. He senses that Sanfilippo is usually the last one to come with the trap, and he's trying to stand side by side with him and time his run. Great sense by the forward there.
Downfield, and Perry heads it aside. Palguda nods it forward, and it's flicked forward by Mayer of the Railhawks. Burns is pushed off the ball by Steele, and finally settled to feet. Turning back in the center circle, Lowe will lay it off into the center circle. Taken there and pushed forward across midfield by Dombrowski. Checking back is Bailey. In the center circle, switching to the outside on the near wing for Mayer. Now roll it, pass ahead. Fusilier on the right wing down to the Rochester 20. And Younger back, turns him to the outside. Steele, long service for the back post. Up in the air, Vallow brings it down at his 3 and comes away with the ball.
That's what I was talking about at the start of the game. Vallow pressure him, put some balls right in his face, get some bodies in there, and that time he handles it beautifully.
Brought forward by Holmes through the center circle. Pass ahead, skipping through Diallo, and chasing it back goes Worthen. Turns it to the outside of the near wing. Joey Worthen up the right side, approaching midfield. Stepping in to intercept Perry at the midfield line. Ben Younger dropping it off for Burns, and he has to roll it back to Vallow. Has to hustle for the ball. Stepping out, beating Worthen to the ball. Tips a high one out to the midfield line. Steele up the back of lines. Foul is called. Restart for the Rhinos. Steele stepping in the way. Gets a yellow card as he stepped in the way of the Rhinos restart.
I'll give Johnny Steele the benefit of the doubt there, Don. Aaron Lyons tried for the quick restart. Johnny Steele didn't even have a chance to get back 3 yards, nonetheless 10 yards. So it's a tough one for him to take.
I don't know. He stepped right in the way. He did. He moved over to his left, right in the way.
I think he gives you a little more of a chance there. Maybe give him a little warning. I mean, Lyons went for the quick restart. Steele, look at his face. Yep, okay.
Perry on the restart at midfield with the right foot. Long to the outside of the far wing for Ball. Trying to play it back in the box. Is blocked off the ball by Worthen. Throws it ahead out to the 18, and Carrieri had it taken away by Menyonger. Drops it off. Novak with a pass ahead for Ball. Dummies it through, but on the back end of the pass is Worthen to intercept. His pass in the middle in turn taken away by Lyons. The Rhinos have it 35 yards out. Dropped off for Burns. Back to the center circle for Perry. Moving forward. JP, they caught him. Jason Perry. We'll talk to him in our intermission. Half on the near wing. It's off the right foot of Mayer and out of bounds. Throwing on the near side for the Rhinos from 25 yards out. Lines to the outside. Palguda along the near wing. Left foots it down inside the box. Flicked toward the net by Diallo, but knocked down and then hammered away by Sanfilippo out to the center circle. Taken by Novak. He'll try the right wing side. The ball. Has it 20 yards out, far into the box, working along the 18, sneaks it through, but blocked away and then taken off by Carrieri and carried away by Worthen. On the far wing and approaching the midfield spot as it's taken away by Burns, blocked forward, and with it is Ben Younger. Far corner of the box, in the middle, Lyons, left-footed shot in. Oh, just punched wide out for the left wing side, out over the end line by McClellan, and a corner kick for the Rhinos.
That is a great save by McClellan, and the Rhinos are finding open players all over the field. Lyons with the left foot. Doesn't waste any time, one-timer, and it's a great save diving to his right. McClellan, who maybe saw that at the last second, makes a good save there for the Railhawks.
Now the Rhinos are getting their practice on corner kicks here tonight. Here's Balguda, left-footed kicker, low through the box, and it's flicked away and on top. Burns trying to get underneath it, bounced over him, turning back for the ball, and now he'll drive it all the way back down inside his 18 to Vallow. Bailey moving up, but Vallow easily plays it away on the far side to Novak. 21st minute here at Paytech. Rhinos scoring back in the 12th minute to take a 1-0 lead. Burns, long service downfield. Trying to get in behind Sanfilippo is Holmes. Knocks Sanfilippo off the ball, but then it skipped away from him. He almost turned him inside out.
That would have been a gift if it dropped for Harrison.
Long downfield into Rhino territory now as we go the other way. Moving in underneath it. Bonsu knocks it down as he is challenged by Adosian. Pass ahead, Palguda off to Burns, and one touch for Lyons on the near wing for Palguda. Long downfield. In behind once again is Diallo. Well, I have to agree with the call on that one. The moving forward at the last moment. Dombrowski taking a step forward.
That was a good trap there. Got him just in time. As Mohamed Diallo looking for that through ball again. Though it's just a matter of inches. If he steps back just a little more, Diallo's going to be gone.
Out on the near wing, carried away by Mayer, out the right side. It's nice to have Joe back tonight after his 7th vacation of the summer.
Listen, when you work hard, you've got to take some time off and recharge the batteries.
School teacher, folks. School teacher. What does that tell you? Long downfield to the Rochester 20, and then offside flag. Who was offside there?
He says Adosian came over and back.
And back, all right.
So we'll go with that one.
Okay, because that's such a confusing rule, nobody could follow it anyway, right?
That's such a very interesting call. Val doesn't even know where to put it. He's like, okay, we'll put it right there.
Yeah. All right, 23rd minute at Paytech, and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. As newcomer Jamie Holmes scores his first goal in his second game as a Rhino. Long kick downfield, nice kick by Vallow. Headed away, and at the 35, popped up in the air, Burns in underneath it, in a collision with Steele, and knocked down, and a foul is called on Steele.
News 1040 WYSL Avon Rochester.
Johnny Steele again very aggressive.
Frustrated, but you don't have a bone to pick there. You come up with the elbow. And you're going to try to go against a much taller man than Kevin Burns, and no choice there but to call the foul.
Well, he's using Burns as a stepladder.
You have to. But Carolina is very suspect at the back. A lot of gaps, a lot of openings. Diallo, a couple of times here, he's going to be sprung on some through balls.
Burns setting it up, 40 yards out with the right foot, down inside the far end of the 6, and up in the air to haul it down as McClellan. Well, the Carolina keeper throws it out of the far wing, brought away. Pass forward, but Burns stepping in to knock it aside. Tipped by ball for Diallo. Turns to the outside, then it's tackled away from him by Dombrowski and recovered by Carrieri. Turning back, he's taken down by Diallo. Foul is called. So it'll be a free kick for the Railhawks from their own 15 on the far side, and Carrieri slow getting up. Referee overtaking a look at him and turns and has a couple of words for Diallo.
It's been the dream matchup tonight for Scott Vallow making his return. Ball's knocked away. Now, Diallo, you're deep in the opponent's third. Just a little light pressure on the back of the player. You don't even need to play up the little foot contact. It's a bad place for the foul, and it's a freebie for Carolina to get out of their own half of the field.
24th minute. 1-0 in favor of the Rhinos. McClellan, the keeper, with the right foot, sends it out through midfield into Rhino territory, coming down around the 35, and then flick forward. One big bounce inside the 18, and then grabbed there by Vallow. Holds on as Adosian's right on the doorstep.
You know, with Vallow coming back to the lineup, Don, you get a different feel, a sense of calm and organization in the back. I mean, he hasn't seen a shot yet, but you can see he's directing. The players look like they've got a whole different outlook tonight.
Turned down inside, Menyunger back heel, nice pass to Holmes, trying to split through, right-footed shot, dipping, however, not enough dip on it, a foot up over top of the crossbar, and this young man looks very impressive tonight.
I like what I see from Jamie Holmes tonight. A lot of confidence. He's a big guy, can strike the ball well, he can fight off players, and he's hungry. He wants more. Him and Diallo early on have a good connection.
On the near wing, it's Lines. Being challenged for the ball by Adosian. Now double teamed and run over by Fusilier. And the ball is brought away. That's a long up the right wing side. Deep to the corner. Chased after by Steele. And on his heels is Perry. Steele trying to turn it in front. Blocked momentarily, but gets away with the ball. Left footed down inside. And getting a foot on it to boot it high in the air out toward midfield is Bonsu. And volleyed forward, but Bonsu again plays it aside. And Lyons flicks it off to Holmes. Turning it back for Menyunger. From his own 35, up the right wing, ball back heel across midfield. However, Holmes couldn't get to it. On the far wing, Novak heads it forward. Knotted again into Rhino territory by Lowe, and Novak in underneath it. Turning back with the ball, drops it off for Bonsu in the middle for Burns, along his own 40 in the middle, and goes long up the left wing side for Diallo. Chasing after it on the near wing, down to the 20. As he turns to the outside, watch closely by Worthen. Now long cross, or make that Mayer. Long cross through the box, far side, flicked away by Worthen out near the 35 for Carrieri. Turning back, watched by Burns, lays it off on the far side, and pushed to the end line. Ball after it, won't get there in time. It's over the end line. Nice diving save by McClellan, but all for naught as the play was whistled down. A goal kick coming up here for the Railhawks.
John Ball, give him a lot of credit. He goes up in the air, and Worthen is such a big competitor. We've seen him with Pittsburgh. We've seen him throughout this league, but he never quits. Gets the ball deflected off of Worthen. It just goes over the end line. Johnny Ball, the work rate is there, and he's looking for the new guy, Jamie Holmes. You gotta love what you see from that guy up top early on.
McClellan with the goal kick. Low line drive kick through midfield. And flick forward, chasing back Novak, Carrieri on him, and Novak able to push it up into the stands on the far wing, so a throw in for the Railhawks, 30 yards out off the left wing side. To the far end of the box to Carrieri, back heel into the corner, chasing after it, Adosian, turning around there, Novak, now a ball runs into him, the ball is knocked out of bounds off the Rhinos, another throw in for the Railhawks. Down inside the box, moving in low, left foot across in front, Perry, he almost whiffed on it, and it skips through the box, it comes out the near side, all the way out over the touchline on the near wing, and a throw in on the near side now for the Railhawks. Quick throw in, Steele to Mayer, turning deep to the end line, chased by Palguda, off in the corner, as that's played out over the end line, off of Palguda, corner kick now for the Railhawks.
Mayer, in all honesty, is lucky to win a corner kick there. If you see players at a higher level, what takes him 3 touches to get the cross in, it's 1 touch elsewhere. That's just a bit of luck to win the corner kick. He had all day to serve that ball earlier, and luckily for him, he does come away with a corner kick, but much, much too slow on the service.
Corner off the right wing side, Steele left-footed kicker, an in-swinging kick. Up in the middle, and Vallow comes down with the ball at his 3 right in the middle of the frame.
And it's great that the Rhino defenders, that wall of white, supporting their captain and man who's returned after 4 months.
And brought ahead. Long on the right wing side, Fusilier, but right to Palguda, who heads it out to midfield. Sanfilippo into the ball on the near wing, giving it off, and Steele will push it off into the middle, turning around Bailey, trying to get loose. From 20, through ball, but Adosian's in behind, and the offside flag is in the air. Vallo got to the ball anyway.
Good reaction save from Scott Vallo, showing he's not too rusty after a bit of a layoff, but Jason Perry there is going to want to mark a little more goal side of Bailey. Bailey checks back for the ball. Perry gives him the easy space to turn inside. Let him turn outside, never inside towards the goal. That's something that I'm sure Jason Perry is going to have to clean up upon.
29th minute at Paytech. Rhinos 1-0. As the ball on the far wing, Carrieri lets it roll out, and that's the kick off of Vallo out of bounds. So a throw it on the far side for the Railhawks from their own 40. Worthen throwing across midfield, but right to Novak, who heads it aside for Lines, and he puts it off of the defender low and out. So it'll be a throw in for the Rhinos. Lines at midfield will leave it there, and the throw in will be taken by Kevin Novak.
Lowe has got to be chomping at the bit to get forward, get more involved in the offense. When that does happen, there's going to be a huge gap in the middle of the park. Still not much for defending. Lowe pushing up. Could be some open spaces.
Foul is called to the Rhinos as Mayer's taken down, and so a free kick for the visiting Railhawks from their own 20.
Little tactical shift here for the Rhinos. Johnny Ball now playing on the near side, playing on the left side of midfield. It's like Aaron Lines has shifted over to the right side.
Goalkeeper McClellan to take the kick. Chris McClellan, 26-year-old from Boulder, Colorado, 6'1", 185, played for the Charlotte Eagles in second division last year and into Rhino territory on the near wing, brought forward by Ball, able to right-foot it through, but intercepted on the other side by the Railhawks. On the near side of midfield, Steele looking for the through ball, sends it to open space on the right wing, and Perry and Fusilier after it, and Perry just blocks Fusilier away as the ball rolls out over the end line. A goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Best Volvo, where style, safety, and all-wheel drive come together. World Gym, real gyms, real people, real results. And by the Ferris Group, the best seat in your house, and in the house is in your Ferris apartment. See them all at ferris.com. Flick forward, ball to Main Younger, trying to push it forward. Settles the ball 20 yards out, then it got away from him. Comes out of the near wing and ball, touch get aside for Palguda. As he's challenged, he maintains control, drops it off for Burns. They'll play it up the right wing side, left wing side, along the near touchline, ball going to the end line. Watched by Sanfilippo, and it got away from him, rolled out over the end line, so a goal kick the other side.
Johnny Steele looks to the bench and maybe banged up a little bit. He has come in a couple of times with some reckless challenges and has been a little bit out of control. He's got the yellow card already, and it doesn't take much more to pick up that second yellow.
Has a little bit of a limp on his left leg.
And that was caused by him challenging Palguda, coming in out of control very late in the challenge, and he gets the worst of it there.
Ball flighted through midfield, but Burns able to knot it back. Steele with the left foot, pops it up in the air, and now it's flicked down to the Rochester 18. Adosian pushing it inside the box on the left wing side. Has it down around the 2. And he'll roll it off in the middle, and it's tipped forward, but Palguda gets to it to play it off on the far wing. Carrieri in underneath it, but Worthen up with the ball first, giving it to Carrieri as he turns back to get away from Holmes. The ball coming out to midfield. Carried forward by Dombrowski through the center circle and off on the near wing, giving it off to Mayer. Matthew Mayer up the right side. They'll drop it off in the middle for Steele. 30 yards out. Long chip down inside the box. One hopper to the end line, grabbed by Vallo, and he holds on.
Times it well, reads the play, senses if it's going to come to a defender or if he's got enough pace on it, and Vallo does a great job. Again, that's experience, knowing when to come off his line. That was some of the knock against Harrison. Just at times maybe a little too hesitant to be aggressive and come off his line. And Santos, really, you didn't have a lot of chance to see what he was all about.
Played downfield, headed back in the middle. And off in the center circle, diving in to knotted forward Bonsu. As is pushed to the outside. And certainly, to be fair to Nuno Santos, He played a game which the Rhinos had one defender. The rest were midfielders or wherever.
He came in at a very, very bad time.
Yeah, dropped off in the middle. I still think he looks like a pretty good goalkeeper. And
he's got a great resume. The only thing I was concerned about with Santos, not giving up all the goals, but his distribution, his punts, and his kicks. Extremely short.
And Harrison has had an excellent beginning, too, as the ball played down inside the 6, played through the box, and Bailey couldn't get the right toe on it. That's through the 6-yard box, comes out on the near side over the end line, and a goal kick for the Rhinos, and that's very close.
It's very close, and Scott Vallow is already kind of making the changes. Dozian got in on that far side a little too far as Bailey tried to outstretch for the ball there, but Perry and Palguda need to get a little tighter on their marks inside of that 18-yard box. Carolina starting to find a little bit of space.
Vallow taking his time to place the ball. The referee saying, come on, let's get going here. By the way, the center ref, Fotis Basakos, the linesman Franco Bevilacqua and Scott Boniface, and the fourth official Steve Montanino. Through midfield, nice flick forward by Holmes. It's in behind as Diallo runs over Dombrowski from behind, says, here, eat some grass. And the foul is called.
Diallo, he just turns, he sees the goal. He forgets that there's a man between him and the goal. And that's where the foul
What the heck
comes.
are you doing there in my way? Spinning around Bailey at midfield to the outside on the left wing, and underneath it, one touch forward by Carrieri down inside the box and moving in a steal. And get a shot away as he's pushed to the outside, the far end of the box by Bonsu, and now Novak as he's double teamed, rolls out on the far side, and a throw in deep in the corner for the Railhawks. Throw in out top, taken by Worthing. Worthing, 35 yards out, works toward the middle, chased by Lines, right-footed boot. That's about 3 or 4 times the height of the crossbar over top and out of play. 35th minute and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos.
And that's being kind, talking about that one skying over the bar. Vallow will take those all night long. What you see now from him, too, is experience. Settling things down. They're getting a little bit of pressure. Wants his defenders to catch their breath. And these are the little details that some of the keepers didn't bring in Scott Vallow's absence.
Played forward, headed back into Rhino territory. Novak on the far wing, Carrieri touching it forward. Now it's breaking to the box is Bailey as it rolls to the end line of Vallow out the first time and away. That's up in the stands on the far side, so it'll be a throw in for the Railhawks. Quick throw in to Worthing. Has it 40 yards out, chased there by Menyonger, but gets away and a pass forward. Spinning around Adosian, turning it to the outside. Carrieri on the left wing, drops it off in the middle for Lowe. As he takes a look around, Lowe dropping it back into the center circle in midfield on the near side. And Lowe getting tangled up with Diallo, and the referee quick to get over to step in between them. That's tipped away by Bonsu out near midfield. Steele blocking it forward, but Menyonger getting to it. Tips it off for Holmes as he's tripped up, taken down. Play goes on. Lyons looking for the through ball. Ahead of the left side, but in behind is Diallo. He actually turned and looked before he even made the run.
And I'm surprised. He continued. He saw he was way off sides, and he kept going. He's got the hunger for the goal. Now it's just going to be a little more patience to get there and find that through ball in the right spot.
Has a little discussion with Coach Calloway as he walks by. Played on the right wing side into Rhino territory. Bailey in the end line, and Harry battling for the ball. It's out over the end line, and a goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Cintas, the service professionals. Discover what Cintas can do for your organization. Auction Direct. For your next car, log on to auctiondirect.com. And also brought to you by Nextel. Power Up.
For Diallo, it's not going to be a major adjustment. It's just hold the run, maybe bend it a little more instead of just running straight forward towards the goal. And Diallo, he will find the space and he'll be in a great spot.
Playing it through midfield. Holmes run up the back as he tried to hit it, but couldn't get to it. Now played along the near side. Steele drawing it forward to the Rochester 20. He'll roll it along the 18 and tackled away by Novak, or by Lyons. Make that nice job. Still trying to play it. Steele pass in the middle. Bonsu touching it away outside the box. Up in the air, Lyons carrying it away. In the middle, pass ahead for Diallo, but blocked forward again down to the Rochester 25. Looking for the through ball, but Bonsu is there to take it. And the Rhinos will roll it forward to Menyonger. Turns it off at the right side for Burns. Gets away from one and passes to the outside for Novak.
Lovely escape.
Long ball through, down inside, chased after. Here's a 2-on-0 break. The Rhinos moving in. Little chip. Diallo after the ball. Scores! Wait a minute, what's the flag in the air now?
Offsides. I don't know about that one.
Why would the flag go up? It was a 2-on-0 break.
And the ball was pushed
flag
forward. I don't know about that one. Wow, that's a tough one.
Offside! I can't believe that one. So now if Holmes had just kicked the ball to the net, it would have been a goal or what?
Yeah, exactly. A little too unselfish there for Holmes. He beats the offsides trap. He's at the top of the 18. And Diallo may have jumped the gun on the run. Not at the patience he needed there to stay behind the ball. And he may have pushed it forward a little too far. Diallo again. It's all timing. That's an easy one he's going to want back.
Well, that's one you hope that doesn't come back to haunt them here tonight.
We had the luxury of looking at the replay, and Diallo did go a little bit ahead of Holmes. We just had to kind of trail in behind and run onto the ball.
Why, it's everything, just the seas opened up, a wide open course, and have it called back like that is really devastating. Pushed down to the end line, Palguda after it, and the ball rolls to the end line, still keeps it in play. Nice job. Chip down inside, and that's headed away out of the box. Diallo looked like he was wanting to tee it up, but it was headed away by Dombrowski. On the near side for Steele. Approaching midfield to the outside for across midfield. Fusilier on the near wing. And it's watch 1v1 with Burns to the outside along the near touchline for Adosian, but a foul is called on the Rhinos as Fusilier was sent flying.
The Railhawks have made a bit of a change themselves. Johnny Steele now has come back to the outside of midfield, and that's a good move by Scott Schweitzer. Steele has got some great pace, great services from the flanks. Kind of lost that with him in the middle of the park. Looks like Fusilier has gone to the middle of the park.
Chip down inside. That one fighted through to the end line. Moving Carrieri shot. Puts it wide across the goal mouth. Out the other side. And evidently was deflected away by the Rhinos as the referee signals a corner kick.
Didn't see a deflection coming in there, but Carrieri did a great job taking that a one-timer out of the air on the good ball that was swerved into the box. Where the touch was, didn't see, but the Railhawks getting in the flow of the game, getting very comfortable.
40th minute at Paytech. Rhinos up 1-0, and here's the long service down inside the box of the back post, headed away out over the end line by Holmes. So a corner off the other side, this time the left wing side for the Railhawks.
Johnny Steele makes the long journey from side to side, and this will be, I think, a more dangerous kick for him. Outswinger. He'll have the time to pace it and set it where he wants it. He's got some good targets in the box. Worthen pushing up. Dombrowski, some big guys who can really head the ball well.
So Steele with the left-footed service. High for the back post. Comes down actually about in the middle and played out on the near side. Settled by Worthen. Left foots it for the far corner and missed by a mile once again.
Yeah, Worthen, I think he's maybe watching a little too much of the EPL, but he wants to try that swerving shot that goes around the defenders and in the goal. Just going to take a little more than that from Worthen. He's had two pretty good looks at the goal. Just the end result has been very poor.
Kick to be taken by Vallow. Hit the right foot. Low kick through midfield. Coming down 40 yards out. Headed up in the air. Coming down in the center circle and line. Switch it forward. Brought the chest. Dropping it off there for Holmes. But it got away. Carried off and played downfield by the Railhawks. And after it, Steele is in behind. Far corner of the 18. Moving in. Stop. Turns back to the right foot. Rolling ball in. Grabbed it is two by Vallow. So Steele, after all that, got just a dribbler away.
Yeah, he didn't have the energy left, and Steele got tired there, but he did a good job cutting in, timing his run well. Novak is way late defensively there, and Steele doesn't get a piece of the ball.
Vallow, high, kick downfield. One bouncer over top of Worthen as it's flicked forward for Lowe, turning it to the outside of the far wing for Carrieri. Rhinos had a 5-0 and then a 5-1 lead in shots, and now it's 5-4. So the Railhawks are beginning to supply some pressure here. Adosian to the right side for Fusilier. That's tackled away by Palguda, but brought forward to Bansu. Left foots it out to near midfield. And the way is Steele. Long on the right side. Palguda heads it away again. Then Younger knocks it down for Burns. He'll then drive it ahead out to the 35. Lines in underneath it, trying to knot it forward, but blocked by Lowe. And the ball recovered by the Railhawks. On the far side, left wing, brought forward by Worthen. 35 yards out. Watched by Ball. Worthen. Pass along the 20 in the middle for Carrieri. Spins it off to the near side for Fusilier. One touch in the middle for Adosian. Turns it back along the 20. Couldn't get a shot away. Drops it out top. Played through on the near wing and moving in is Steele. Down to the 18. Takes the shot. Blocked away in the air. Comes down to the end line and grabbed by Vallow. Evidently out over the end line. That's off the Rhinos. A corner kick for the Railhawks.
Vallow doesn't want to give up the ball. He thought he kept it in bounds. He says, watch the ball. You know, they're ruling again. The ball has to be completely over the line. Vallow thought he did a good enough job to keep it in.
So corner kick off the right wing side. Steele, left-footed kicker and in-swinger. Sends it low in the box, and the ball skips through the 6 out the far end and rolls out over the end line. A goal kick for the Rhinos. And boy, how that went was not touched by anybody. I don't know.
Anyone here or there for Rochester or Carolina, but I think the Railhawks have found a little bit of a weakness. Kevin Novak on that far side has been caught a couple of times by Steele and by Carrieri. Worthen also sensing the weakness on that side of defense. That's where a lot of their attack has come from. Novak has just got to kind of stay home, leave Bonsu to worry about the center of the park, and keep his shape defensively.
Headed back into the center circle. Bailey spinning around side to side, being watched there by Burns, able to go to the outside of the left wing. At midfield, Worthen. On the left wing side of Novak. Will volley it back through midfield, and then it's hammered away and downfield into Rhino territory. Through the 18-yard box, rolling to the end line, and this will be over the line, and another goal kick for the Rhinos. 3-game weekend here at Paytech Park. Tonight, it's the Rhinos. Tomorrow night, right here, the Rattlers in their last game of the regular season. And then on Sunday, the Rhinos are right back here, 6 o'clock kickoff against the Puerto Rico Islanders. Sunday night right here, the Rhinos taking on Puerto Rico.
At the start of tonight's game, Puerto Rico and Rochester both with 30 points, so that's shaping up to be a very intriguing matchup, Rochester-Puerto Rico.
Played through the midfield, and then it's shanked out of bounds by Fusilier on the near wing. A throw in for the Rhinos, their own side of midfield.
Fusilier wanting to go to Johnny Steele. He had some space. Just that very difficult touch off the kick.
Alguda turns to get away from Fusilier, and a long right-footed chip through midfield, but headed away into the center circle. Holmes in underneath it. Drops it off through the circle for Novak. He'll left-footed ahead downfield, and Diallo with a flick forward has his turn to the far wing to the end line. Nobody able to run through for the Rhinos, and picking it up inside the 18 is the keeper McClellan.
And we're approaching halftime. A couple minutes before, Johnny Ball would have had the energy, but now it's late in the first half. The tank, the energy just not there.
Half volley kick through midfield. That's in the center circle. Booted high in the air by Lowe. Ball in underneath it is pushed off the ball. Turns trying to come away. Novak does get to it. Turns with the ball and gives it off to Burns in the center circle for Lines. One touch by Younger and a give and go to the outside, but there Holmes had stopped the run, and it's played all the way down inside, now pulled down inside the box, taken by McClellan.
I think Holmes may have to come off. He's got a hamstring injury. He's looking for a sub. He's rubbing the back of his right leg, and he's not making runs. Looks like he may be our first sub of the night.
Rhinos don't have anybody up warming up right now. Burns right foots it out toward the midfield line, where it's taken down there and pushed off on the near side. Trying to get to it, Lines tackled away, however, by Mayer, and then Younger deflects it aside. Palguda, and hammered away to midfield, but blocked. Lines checking back on the ball, and Bailey, as they tie up, and it's turned on the outside on the near wing. 2 minutes of additional time here, 2 minutes of injury time as we have hit the 45-minute mark. And Younger approaching midfield. Holmes, one touch off the Lines, but now Holmes goes down to a knee, and it seems like you're right. As the Rhinos are trying to make it through to halftime, I don't see anybody getting up to warm up yet.
I think they're going to try and see if they can get him to the half. Dave DePasquale get 15 minutes to work on him. See if he can create some magic there and see if Holmes will come back. If not, then they'll make the change then.
Rolls down inside the 18. Vallow will kick it away out of midfield. So Holmes on one knee out of midfield. As play goes on, ball on the far wing is chipped out through midfield into Rhino territory. Flick forward and Novak back. Off on the far wing, will right-footed up into the stands. We're in stoppage time. Holmes still down on one knee. He is now talking to the coach. And finally the ref blows the whistle and comes over to check out Holmes.
Rhinos will play with 10. He'll come off, and looks like it's his hamstring out on his right side. Magic spray coming out. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, because he's had a very good first half.
Now we see Sievers getting up. And Coach Callaway calling him back as the ball is served now through the 18, out over top of the 18. Now Sievers is going to warm up here. Hands the ball out over the end line, and a goal kick for the Rhinos. Again, stoppage time. The Rhinos with a 1-0 lead. And Holmes.
There was no contact, too. He was just coming back for a ball. Looks like it just kind of popped, and he got the treatment. It looks like he's going to try to run this thing off here at the first half.
Well, at least see if he can get through the half here. And like you say, they might try and see if they can't get him fixed up, ready to go during the half.
They've got all those good tools and machines and all that great equipment inside the training room. We'll see what they come up with.
Dollar with the right foot, low kick through midfield. That one headed up in the air. Nodded forward by Bonsu out to the midfield line. Burns couldn't get up for it. Bonsu in underneath it again. A short hop kick downfield. Coming down around the 25. And Sanfilippo will block it to the outside for Mayer. Right foots it out through midfield. Steele turning back for the ball. And in turn, lines after, but Steele tips it aside. Up to the midfield line. Blow with a pass ahead. Trying to sneak through. There's Dombrowski. That's turned to the outside on the left wing for Carrieri. Down inside the box. Left foots it way up in the air over top of everything and out of play.
Novak, he's just pushing the middle of the park a little too much, and that's forcing Bonsu then to sprint back outside to cover his space there. You can see Bonsu, you can see his gesture. Stay out there, we'll take care of the middle. Novak's just got to show a little more composure and not get so aggressive coming to the middle of the park.
Battle placing the ball. This will be close to it for the half. As Vallo will put the ball in play. The referee says, come on, kick the ball. He does. Any second now, the whistle should blow to end the half. Headed up in the air toward midfield. Coming down to the midfield line. Burns in underneath it, but taken there by Yadosian. Now the whistle blows, and we have reached the half. So here at Paytech Park, one half of play complete, and the Rhinos coming up with the victory. Victory, that's halftime. I'm watching to see what's going on the field. Coming up with the one goal to take the lead here at the half. And maybe that's unfortunate that they have decided they want to get Holmes over for the interview when he really needs to go to the locker room and get work on that leg.
I don't think that's the time right now for that.
Yeah, well, he's there, and he's going to be talking with Soccer Sammy here in just a moment. In fact, Sammy, can you hear me? Go ahead, Sammy.
Jamie Holmes got to get you back in there, see what's wrong with your leg. What happened there with your leg, Jamie?
My hamstring just tied up a little bit in our last sprint, so I'll have to see at halftime if I can continue to play. Hopefully so.
You got your first goal as a Rhino. How'd it feel out there?
I felt good. Actually, stopped thinking about just played. And it actually worked out for once, so it's a good thing.
You know, a soccer house is not a home without Jamie Holmes. Baby, you're playing great. You better get back in there before I get fired, all right? Get better, man, all right?
Oh, wow.
Jamie Holmes' first game here as a Rhino. What a game he's having so far. Let's go back up to Don and Joe.
All right, Sammy, thank you very much. So we're at the half. We're at Paytech Park through one half of play. It's the Rochester Rhinos 1 and the Carolina Railhawks nothing. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Paytech Park tonight, gorgeous evening as usual, and the Rhinos taking on the Carolina Railhawks, the third and last meeting of the two teams, and Rochester coming up with one goal in the first half. The first half stats brought to you by Time Warner. Get all-in-one digital cable, Roadrunner, digital phone, one simple package, one low price. And the one goal scored coming in the 12th minute. Tonight's goal by newcomer Jamie Holmes, his first as a Rhino, and John Ball was the one to serve it up, picking up the assist. So Holmes from Ball at the 12th minute, and the Rhinos out to a 1-0 lead. That was the only goal scored in the first half. Actually, the visiting Railhawks did come back and outshot the Rhinos in that first half, 6-5. 6-5 shots in favor of Carolina. Corner kicks, each team had 4. Offsides, 4 against the Rhinos and 2 against the Railhawks. And in the fouls department, 7 against Rochester and 7 against Carolina. Actually, a little bit calmer of game, Joe, than what we might have thought.
Well, Carolina finally came in and they kind of settled down a little bit, got their composure, and I think at the second part of that first half, played much better, created some more chances. Novak's got to get his assignment down and know where he's coming in as a defender, and I think that's going to be a big help for the Rhinos. But Carolina came on in the second half, showed some soccer instead of some aggressive tactics.
Well, certainly that's something to be concerned about right now, because it seemed like the Railhawks did have the majority of the play during the last 20 minutes of that first half.
Yeah, they sure did. And I think, like I said, they found the little weakness there in the Rhinos' defense. But when you look at the big picture of things, Scott Mello made his return tonight. He's got 45 minutes of scoreless soccer in the book, so that's the big thing. A couple of little minor tactical adjustments. The Rhinos should be fine.
I see out on the field, a couple of players for the Rhinos are warming up right now. Severs and Nate Kraft, the other one. So you have to figure that unless a miraculous recovery from Holmes, that it would be Holmes being replaced by Severs and then coming in perhaps Kraft, like you talked about, on that back end.
That's definitely a good option. Novak has not performed, I'm sure, the way Coach Callaway would like. And Severs, he's a great sub off the bench, but you hope that Holmes is okay. He did a great job in that first half. Like what I see from him early on, and I hope he can continue to go.
We'll be talking with defender Jason Perry coming up in just a moment, so stick with us for more at the half here at Paytech. It is a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos over the Railhawks, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Now the Rhinos have the 1-0 lead over the Carolina Railhawks, and that is after one half of play. And the Rhinos trying to gain a little ground on trying to lock up a playoff spot. Well, the visiting Railhawks are trying to get into a playoff position, as they're about 5 points out of the last playoff spot right now. And I talked for a few moments before the game tonight with Rhino defender Jason Perry. And quite a year, interesting year for Perry. Tonight's intermission interview brought to you by Connolly Printing, the official printer of the Rhinos. Talking with Perry in a little bit, first of all, about how he's felt his season has gone thus far.
I think it's been pretty much an up and down season for myself. I think I kind of started off pretty well, from preseason on, and picked up an injury that kind of was lingering and eventually caught up with me. As far as last year, I had a lot of problems with my Achilles. I think that was pretty much at bay this year for most of the season until the New England game, where it kind of really snuck up on me and went to a tackle, and something went in there wasn't right. But on top of that, I think that with sitting on the bench last year, I got a lot of experience just watching, being able to sit back and analyze more than, obviously playing you get the most experience, but, to being able to analyze the games a little bit more, I think it's been well.
Now, the injury situation, it's the same injury as last year then?
Yeah, same injury. It's the calcification on the Achilles with their kind of fraying, tearing, if you will. And I think what happened in the New England game is I kind of tore through some of that blood deposit that's down there around it, and felt a pop and really scared me, obviously.
Now, this is an injury that's going to carry on forever? Is there any way of getting rid of it?
Yeah, there is surgery. The doctors are still kind of up in the air of how they'd want to do it, if they'd want to clean it up, or if they want to clean it up and elongate my Achilles, or clean it up and shorten my Achilles, depending on how my body takes to it. So they really haven't definitively said which one they think is the best to do. So it's probably a reason why nothing's really been done too much except to try to keep it, at bay and be able to play on it.
You've been getting some time in and out of the lineup here. Are you playing more because of all the injuries to the defenders? There's hardly any defenders left, or is this something you would want to heal more? Or what?
No, I think that, Coach sees, that there's a need, obviously, for, with Valo and some of the other guys being out who bring some experience to the team. And, he's asked me to step in and play. And, obviously I've taken my time a little bit with that injury, especially when you feel a pop down there in your Achilles. You want to make sure that everything's right, because you don't want to go back out there and have it almost be like last season, an ongoing thing. So I think that, me and him and Dave have worked pretty well together as far as making sure that it's right, and when it's right, hopefully I've been able to play well enough for the fans of Rochester.
Well, I know this has been a tough thing for you over the last couple of years, all of this in and out of the lineup stuff. How's the morale, though? How do you feel?
I'm good. I'm just happy to be here with the guys. It's a great group of guys, and, obviously when you're not playing, it makes you look at things a little different sometimes, but I've tried to stay positive, and, when I can help and step in, I think that's been probably the most joyous for me when called upon to be able to step in and do whatever job needs to be done, and even if it's for 10 minutes or if it's playing a whole game, obviously there's a need, and hopefully I can just fill that void when needed.
Talking with Jason Perry, Rhino defender, and we'll continue the conversation in a moment. Paytech Park, 1-0 lead at the half for the Rhinos over the Carolina Railhawks. This is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Halftime at Paytech Park, the Rhinos on top of the Carolina Railhawks by a 1-0 score. We're talking with Jason Perry, Rhinos defender. Asked him before a little bit about his thoughts on his play. Now I asked him a little bit about his thoughts on the team's play so far this season.
Yeah, I think it's been a trying year for everybody. I think that, with injuries and, people out of the lineup for one thing and another, futsal or, travel, whatever it's been, I think we've pretty much come together as well as we can. You can't be 100% positive all the time when people are dropping like flies every day in practice from training and games and things like that. But I think that as a team, our overall morale has been very high. And we've tried to keep it that way so that, we can try to have a positive outlook on the season and make sure that we do well.
Are you saying that with what's gone on this year, that fourth place is actually pretty good for what you've had to go through?
I'm not by any chance saying that fourth place is where we want to be.
No, I'm saying, but at the moment you're in fourth place.
At the moment we're in fourth place, and I think that with the circumstances, I think that we're putting ourselves in the right areas and the right situations to make that late push once we get a lot of guys back healthy. And I think that can only be attributed to the whole team doing their job when called upon, and it's no one person or one event. I think it's everybody's putting their all out there to make it get done. So.
Now the league really tight this year. I mean, there's no pushovers at all, is there?
No pushovers. Every game is a good game, and I mean that's a testament to this league and how good this league is. And I know a couple of years ago it used to be kind of a big separation, but no, there's no separation this year, and everybody's gunning for everybody. And like Coach says, it's dog eat dog, especially when it comes down to the last couple of weeks when you're playing people for spots in the playoffs.
You're leading the league in goal scoring this season as a team, but you've given up almost the most number of goals against. As a defender, is that kind of playing on your mind a little bit?
Yeah, it's a catch-22. Obviously, we're glad to be scoring goals, but on the other hand, we're not happy to be conceding goals. So I think that's not always on the fault or on the shoulders of the defenders. I think it's on the shoulders of everybody, and Coach makes it apparent that he wants everybody defending once we get the ball, and hopefully if we can get more people doing that and tighten up on a couple individual things, I think that hopefully those goals are going to start to dwindle away, and we maybe can pinch a couple shutouts towards the end of the season, get some confidence for the playoffs.
Well, you're talking about the end of the season, 3 straight games against Montreal at the end of the season. That's a tough way to finish up, isn't it?
Yeah, nobody wants to be up with those guys for 3 straight games, but, in that loss, I think we learned a lot. I think we showed that we were able to definitely play with those guys, and I think we kind of caught them off guard a little bit. Usually, like you said, when we've gone up there, it's been a close game, and I think to a point they felt that, they kind of got away with one with a couple of the mishaps that happened with them, the ball slipping through and Jamie hitting the post and things like that. I think it kind of put a little bit of a shiver in those guys, so hopefully we can carry that on for those next couple games with them.
All right, just looking for a strong finish, huh?
Yeah, strong finish, and I mean that's the best way to finish is strong. So if we messed up in the beginning, it really doesn't matter at the end if we're hoisting a trophy. So finish strong, and that's the best way for us.
Jason Perry, Rhino defender, and when he's playing, he's a great player. Joey, he's an outstanding player, but the thing is, he just can't with the Achilles heel problem. He just can't stay healthy.
You nailed it on the head. He's probably one of the top defenders in the league when he's healthy, but we don't see that enough because he's out with so many little nagging injuries. If he can overcome those injuries here and there, he'll be fine. But very unfortunate, very unlucky that Jason Perry finds himself sidelined with so many injuries.
Well, he's played so far all right tonight, and he did play 63 minutes, I think, the other day in Montreal. So, I don't know if he's played a full 90 or not. I think he played one full 90 this year, but that's been about it.
He's got to start getting those in because with the playoffs approaching, he's got to be fit to go the full 90 and give Coach Callaway that consistent effort. And then, if Perry's not going to play 90 minutes, you're looking at an automatic wasted sub right off the bat. So, Perry, if he can go 90, Coach Callaway doesn't have to worry about making one of those substitutions on his defender.
Second half action coming up shortly here at Paytech Park. At the half, it's a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos over the Railhawks. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Players coming out of the field for the start of the second half of play here at Paytech Park. Again, I'm Don Stevens, Joe Giuliano alongside as we bring you tonight's 23rd match of the season for the Rhinos. 23 out of 28. There's not a whole lot left, Joey.
Not a lot of points left to pick up, and especially for Carolina, they're fighting to get into this playoff spot here. The Rhinos, I think for them it's a matter of getting into the top 4, getting that first round bye, and working it from there. And it's going to be a great, great finish to the season.
Well, some other games of interest going on in the league tonight. It's Puerto Rico being one, we know.
Puerto Rico taking on Atlanta. And, hopefully the Silverbacks can do a great job of just banging up and beating up on the Islanders, and they come up to Rochester on Sunday with hopefully a team that's not 100%, a little tired from a big game tonight. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, we do have substitution. Holmes is out. Severs is in to start the second half, as was expected, but a great first half for Holmes. It would have been fun to watch him play a little more here tonight.
I mean, big guy up top, takes players on, fights players off. Severs, a little smaller in stature than the big Jamie Holmes, and I wanted to see more of the player from Wilmington in Division II. He's done a great job.
Set to go now here in the second half of play. as the Rhinos will be shooting the net to our right. And Scott Vallow in his return tonight in goal down to our left. And here we go now in the second half. Baker on the outside, driven through midfield into Rhino territory. Perry with the left foot just puts it up into the stands. I'll tell you what, when Perry goes to kick the ball, you better be keeping your eye on the ball.
He's got some power. And that might be gone for a while.
Throw in midfield on the far side for the Railhawks. Just getting started here in the second half. Official stats did show that the Railhawks outshot the Rhinos by a 6-5 margin in the first half. Off of the far wing, ball pushed to the end line. Fusilier couldn't get to it. It's out over the end line. A goal kick for the Rhinos.
Yeah, one-shot advantage for the Railhawks, but again, that big 0 on the scoreboard is extremely important, and it's where the Rhinos need to continue keeping the shutout soccer going, or not continue, to begin getting some shutouts going.
So the kick to be taken by Vallow, who, as the veteran keeper we know he is, takes his time because his team's in a 1-0 lead.
Why rush? Get your shape defensively. Let the guys recover and go from there.
He can milk every last second out of it. Knows just how far to push it.
Yeah, before that card or that caution comes.
Cross midfield and into Rhino territory as the ball is tipped up, coming out of the center circle. And recovered once again by the Railhawks on the near side. Worthen through midfield. Left foot to the head. Rolling ball inside the 18. Vallow out to pick it up. As in pressuring with Steele.
Pressuring and shoving. Johnny Steele's going to have to be careful. I'll tell you now, 47th minute, I will not be surprised if he's sent off the pitch tonight.
He did have the yellow card back in the 19th. It wouldn't be his first ejection of the season. He's had a few of them, a couple of them, I think, this year.
His career.
Vallow pushing the ball outside of his 18. Now we'll boot it away through midfield. Underneath the ball, trying to flick forward, as now it's knotted off by Severs in the middle for Diallo. One touch to the outside from Younger. On the 18, switching to the left foot, rolls it on top and lines. His chip shot forward to the end line. Ball couldn't get to it. But the flag is in the air offside against the Rhinos.
There comes a point in soccer when there's too many passes. Top of the 18, you want to rifle one in lines 1, 2, and
yeah, I thought Lines would have had to go at it from there. Right forward now by Adosian, dribbling up the left wing side, chasing behind by Lines as he tries to get the ball through, and it rolls off at the end line and out over the end line. A goal kick for the Rhinos.
Adosian is now starting to track back and kind of camp out in the middle of the field. Now Burns, Menyanger, and Lines need to play a little more compact. Adosian's finding there's a gap there. He's coming back. Just a little bit too much of a space there. Right in the middle of the Rhinos midfield. You can see Coach Calloway on the sideline telling them to push up, make it a little more compact, close that gap down.
Vallow with the goal kick. Right foot sends it out through midfield. That's foot forward across the midfield line. Diallo in underneath it. Now ball comes away. As he turns off toward the middle, gets spun back and taken down, and Steele recovers the ball as play goes on, and a pass into the center circle. As it's dropped off with Chillier across midfield for Steele. Looking for the through ball ahead for Adosian. Got away from him. Otherwise, he might have been gone. And it's Perry to play it out of midfield for Severs.
The pressure, though, it's in the middle of the midfield. Burns, linesman Younger. Better straighten this thing out.
Off the left side, Lines to Severs. Spinning around. Double team. Ball taken away. Covered by Lowe of the Railhawks. Drops it back to Broski. First time get through midfield.
That's the tough part now, that the Rhinos are going to be under a lot of pressure if the midfielders can't slow down the attack.
Knocked out of bounds to the far side. A throw in for the Railhawks. Into Rhino territory. 49th minute at Frontier, and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Throw in along the far touchline. Off in the middle. Trying to get away Bailey, but he's pushed off the ball by Perry as the ball is knocked out, and a throw in for the Rhinos.
Now, I think what's happening is when Adosian checks back for the ball, Burns is expecting one of the defenders to track him. So Adosian is finding the space, and no one is tracking back with him.
On to midfield, but that's volleyed forward into Rhino territory, and turning back, Perry watching the ball roll to the end line. After it, Bailey. Well, Perry's going to have to play the ball as there wasn't enough on it. That rolls out over the end line off of Perry, so a corner kick now for the Railhawks.
Yeah, Perry's going to want that one back. They didn't have enough juice to get over that end line, and Perry, big enough to shield off the player, but that's a poor choice there, giving a nice corner kick here
for
the Railhawks.
Like the battery died or something. It just sort of
You saw that from the start, though. You knew it wasn't going to go over the end line, but Perry wanted to give it a go, and that was a bad choice.
So a corner kick off the right side. High floater for the back post. Up in the air they go. Headed back toward the middle as the ball is knocked down. Nodded away. And Vallow comes away with it off his 2. In amongst all the bodies and now throws it out on the far side. Lions won't get to it as it's recovered again and carried forward by the Railhawks. To the 35, looking for the through ball ahead. As Dozian is challenged there. The ball taken away at the last moment by Burns. Throws it out on the near side. That was rather Bailey. And spinning back ball to the outside of the near wing for Novak. Left foots it out toward midfield. Severs is bumped, but does get a pass off for Lines. First touch across midfield on the right wing for Ball. Rolls it off in the middle. Diallo would turn to his left. And Sanfilippo back as he gets to the ball. Or who's that? No, that's played on the outside by Mayer and out of bounds. If Diallo had kept his run going the same direction, he would have run right onto the ball.
Diallo is just a little off page tonight. He's not on the same page with some of the other guys. His runs, his timing's just been a little off.
Popped up in the air, coming down to the 6, moving in as Diallo couldn't get to it. Picked up on the hop by McClellan, and the Railhawk keeper has the ball.
And it's not a lack of opportunities. They've been there for Diallo. Just maybe trying to push a little bit too hard and doing things he doesn't normally do.
Long kick downfield by McClellan, headed away by the Rhinos. Ball at midfield on the near side, able to pass it ahead for Diallo. Turns back to get away from Dombrowski, pass in the middle. Menyonger, line touching it back at midfield for Burns, and he'll drop it off for Bansu. In the center circle, Perry switching back to the right foot, a feed across the midfield line for Burns, to the outside of the left wing for Palguda. One touch ahead to open space on the left wing, and Severs getting to it along the far wing. As he turns back, going to the end line, and does he get there in time? He does keep it in. That's on top of the 20. Diallo had his back to it, couldn't get away. Now Worthen blocks it forward and carried off by Yadosian. In turn, blocked aside by Bansu, but the ball is recovered by the Railhawks near midfield. Brought across the midfield line by Fuselier. Into Rhino territory, turning into the outside, a hit for Yadosian. Down to the Rochester 15 on the far wing. Turns back, watched by Perry. Yadosian stops, lays it on the far side of midfield for Ball. 35 yards out. Now back to the midfield line. Off on the far side for Mayer once again. Looks around, drops it back at the midfield line. Sanfilippo through the center circle on the near side for Dombrowski. Cross midfield into Rhino territory. Dombrowski on the attack, looking for the through ball ahead for Bailey. Tried to spin around and give and go, but blocked aside, and Severs will head it off in the center circle for Diallo. To Menyonger. Long on the right wing side, running onto the ball goes Aaron Lines. Up the right wing, Worthen coming back on him. Lines, a high kick. Floater up in the air, coming down and brought down at his 3 by McClellan. Is right in on the doorstep with Severs.
And you see the work rate, though, from Joey Worthen. He came steamrolling back. Lines got the cross off, but not after he took a nasty knock from the big defender. And Worthen did just enough to force Lines to get a poor touch on the ball.
Worthen up the left wing side of midfield for Carrieri, and Novak runs into him, and a foul is called, and a free kick for the Railhawks. Cephas will be checking into the match, and coming off will be Bailey. Joel Bailey is out, and Cephas is in here in the 53rd minute.
Good move by the Railhawks. Schweitzer, he senses that the Railhawks are getting the better of play right now, but Bailey not getting involved in the attack. Cephas, we've seen him with Richmond, Virginia Beach. He can make things happen. Very exciting player. This is a good move by Scott Schweitzer to get some more offensive punch. The final third is where it's been lacking. Defensively and in the midfield, Carolina has definitely controlled the tempo of this game.
Now comes Cephas, a 28-year-old. He'll be able to talk to Menyonger. He's also from Liberia. Played for the Virginia Beach Mariners in the first division last year.
See eye to eye.
Yeah. Carried away, answer. A height limit there in Liberia. Up the far wing. Down to the Rochester 15. Turned off in the middle of the far end of the box. And after it, Cephas turns it away. On the far wing, trying to get across in front. Grabbing on Lines. And the ball played out on the far wing. Still controlled by the Railhawks. On the midfield line. Cephas turning. Looking to get away from Menyonger. As it's dropped back on top. Low with a left-footed drive in. And Vallow able to tip it wide out over the end line. A goal kick, or rather a corner kick for the Railhawks.
A nice save there by Scotty Vallow. Just extending really his first pressure that's been directly on goal. Cupano Lowe, the leading scorer, finally gets some involvement here for the Railhawks, and Vallow never beat him. Not on that chance there. A nice stretching save by the Rhinos keeper.
Corner kick, left wing side, and Steele will take the kick. Coming down and up in the air to bring it down to the 6 is Vallow. He'll then drive it away on the left wing side, but shanked it away out of bounds at midfield, so it'll be a throw-in on the far side for the Railhawks.
The Railhawks, though, they have really taken the tempo of the game. Is Cephas that missing piece? We'll see.
Adosian getting his hand on the ball, so a handball is called, and a restart for the Rhinos from their own 35 on the far side. 55th minute here at Paytech, a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos.
How would Adosian love to score another one against his former team, the Rochester Rhinos? Adosian not spending one of the best years of his career here in Rochester, and he sure wants to make them pay.
Well, the two players that are really doing well this year that didn't do hardly anything here last year, Adosian is one and Charles Becky's the other.
I think a lot of it is because sometimes that there's some quick changes here in Rochester. I think those guys knew that no matter what happens, they're going to be continually in the lineup, and they get a lot of confidence whether they score or miss those opportunities.
But Adosian's been in and out of the lineup.
Well, Becky, that's what I'm referring to, actually, is Becky.
Yeah.
He has a lot of chances, but he knows DeSantis is going to stick with him through thick and thin.
Well, that's because he came out at the start of the year and started scoring, and he couldn't take him out.
It's paid off for him, though. He knows that.
Oh, yeah, he's played very well, and he looked good. I called him the co-player of the game last week.
Unbelievable.
Out of the near side, Carrieri up the left wing side, knocked down by Novak, but right back to Carrieri. As it 45 yards out of the left wing and plays it off in the middle, moving in Dombrowski. His pass ahead. Adosian spinning around, trying to get away from Burns. Turns it to the outside far end of the 18 as they race for the end line. Looking at it across, tackled away by Burns. Adosian still with it. Now challenges, sends it on top, and Ben Younger gets the foot on it to tip it away and out top. Brought away by Lines, working out to the midfield circle and on the near side, giving it the ball. Cross midfield in the near wing. Worthen chasing him. Through ball to Diallo as he's pushed off by Lowe. Could make a turn. Ball was through and all the way down inside the box where it's recovered by the keeper, McClellan.
It's way too early for the Rhinos to just continually counterattack. They've got to put some pressure in the Carolina half of the field. The Railhawks are just going to have to defend counterattacks for the rest of this game, and they've put the pressure on Rochester.
Out of bounds on the far side, throw in for the Rhinos from their own 35. Rhinos are here Sunday night, taking on Puerto Rico Islanders. 6:05 is kickoff time. 6 o'clock here on Sunday as the Rhinos meet the Islanders. Ball brought away by Line. Center circle on the near wing for Novak. Up the right side to Ball. Tackled away momentarily by Worthen as they challenge and now carried across midfield. Carrieri lays it out on the open left wing for Cephas, and getting back to it is Bonsu. Just puts it up into the stands.
Worthen is just a physical presence. He's a beast back there. That's the kind of defender you want to have on your team. You don't want to go against Joey Worthen.
Off of the near wing, Low in the middle to Sanfilippo. Turning back with the ball to the right wing side now. Carried forward by Mayer. His pass down to the 25 for Steele, spinning back. Looking for the through ball, a hit for Cephas. Knocked down. Adosian after it. Takes a shot and puts it a couple of feet over top of the crossbar over the end line. A goal kick for the Rhinos. Sponsors of these broadcasts tonight include Dodge. Grab life by the horns. That's Dodge. Free Time Magazine, Western New York Art and Entertainment Guide. And by Time Warner. Get all in one. Digital, cable, digital. And Roadrunner, one package. Save hundreds.
Now, if Valo needs to waste time really and kind of regroup, this is the time. He's doing a great job of that. They just have lost the midfield. Lowe has stepped up. Johnny Steele has stepped up, and they've taken the tempo away from the Rhinos.
Valo, 59th minute. Still a very slim 1-0 lead for the Rhinos. Valo plays it out, coming down in the center circle. And flicked forward across the midfield line by Burns. Settled there by Diallo. Lines, pass ahead, deflected off of the near wing and picked up by Ball. Drops it off of the midfield line for Novak. As he spins back, turns back to the right wing side. Nifty move there to get away. Plays it forward, but deflected off in the middle, and the ball is through to Severs. Down inside the 18, trying to gain control. At the near end of the box, here's a cross along the 6, but headed away and out the near end. Severs after it. Locked away on the near wing, and in underneath it is John Ball. Crossing, he'll switch it off on the left wing side. Carried forward in inside the box to Ben Younger. Spins back to the right foot. Now turns to the back foot. Drops it off in the middle. Moving in. His ball with the shot. Blocked away and topped by Worthen. And pushed outside the box. Ahead for Adosian.
Good build-up, though. Good opportunity. The Rhinos now showing some spark and some life.
That was rather Cephas had the ball. Drops it off of the midfield line. Steele pass in the center circle. And it switched to the outside by Steele on the near wing. They carry area across the midfield line. Off in the middle, stepping in, and Burns almost got to it, but blocked away. Bonsu steps in, but continuing on Steele. Now it's tackled away by Novak, and hammered away out to the midfield circle by Palguda. Lowe settles it there on the midfield line, and dropped back to the keeper by Mayer. McClellan outside of his 18, out to around the 25. We'll kick it away through midfield. All the way down inside the Rhino 20, and nodded back by Novak to the keeper. Battle knocks it down.
Novak came in with a great slide tackle there, just getting the ball and the man, making great contact. That's a good bit there from Kevin Novak.
Battle. Will volley it out through midfield. It's volley right back into Rhino territory. Got away momentarily from Perry. Perry dropping back for the ball. Drops it off for Battle. And his right-footed kick out through midfield. Underneath it they go. Worthen nod to the side. Lines hits it to the outside on the near wing for ball. Couldn't get to it as that went skipping out of bounds on the near side. Throw in for the Railhawks. Pass ahead across midfield on the left wing. Carrieri. Lines grabbed on, but ball rolls away. Now the foul is called on Aaron Lines. So a free kick for the Railhawks. 35 yards out off the left wing side.
That's a good call. The referee saw there may have been an advantage there. Carrieri did a good job to break away, but pushed a little too far in front of him. And then the foul call. That's a good attempt at letting the play flow.
The Bono Low will serve it up. Again, 35 yards out off the left wing side. Two-man wall for the Rhinos. Low goes for the back post. Battle up in the air. Brings it down easily at his 6.
What a great crowd tonight. 10,029 here at Paytech Park for the Rhinos. And, you know, the Railhawks, not quite yet at that Montreal rivalry level yet, but it's in the works. I tell you, it's in the works for sure.
Flighted high in the air through midfield. Diallo with a back heel, but turning it behind. It's spiked across midfield by Lowe, and then headed in the air to the midfield line. Lines across midfield. Ball right back to Lines, touching it to the outside for Menyanger, but stepping in the way is Carrieri as he bumps Menyanger, and now ball after it. He's taken down, and finally a foul is called and a restart for the Rhinos.
Carrieri, a little generous there with the elbows. I guess, though, you know, when you're a shorter player, you got to do whatever you can to protect yourself, throwing it left and right.
And Joe would know about that, being a shorter player.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to do what you can. Those big guys come in hard and fast.
News 1040 WYSL Avon Rochester.
Right to the box, hit it back in the middle by Palguda, but that's out over the end line, and a goal kick for the Railhawks. More sponsors of these broadcasts include the Distillery, now open in Greece at Ridge Road and 390. Phoenix Graphics for all your printing needs, and by Connors and Ferris, workers' comp and Social Security attorneys. Call 262-COMP.
I like the move, bringing Cephas on for Bailey. Bailey kind of got lost in the shuffle here as the game has gone on. But I think Scotty Schweitzer expected a quicker impact from the speedster Cephas.
Flighted through midfield, blocked there by Adosian, turning it to the outside. Carrieri's pass in the middle, skipping through. Perry after it, is able to knock it away at the last moment, but still controlled. Turn to the outside. Fusilier inside the box. Intercepted, taken away by Palguda. Over the far wing, and Burns will left-footed out across midfield. Shanked it out of bounds. Throw in near midfield to the far side for the Railhawks.
We're seeing it both ways, though. Top of the 18, players just don't want to let loose with a shot. Lines earlier, Fusilier now this time. And it's a tight space to make that accurate pass.
And ball in the part of Perry. So let's throw it on the far side of the field for the Railhawks. Steele moving down to around the 20. No, a foul is called. Actually, restarted out. Handball, of course.
Johnny Steele, he served some great swerving balls in from this part of the field.
Set to go, and here it is, low in the box, headed away and out by Bonsu, and chased after on the far side by Menyanger. Steele immediately getting to him. Menyanger turned back, is taken down, no foul called, and the Rhinos have it. Dropped off by Sievers, down inside the box, and Palguda lays it back. Battle chasing it down at the near end of the 6. Ahead for Novak up the near wing as he right foots it along the near side for Ball, but that was out over the line. Ball a little upset about that call.
Over the line, but how about the foul, though? Novak was blasted. That's got to be a foul there. Should be a free kick for the Rhinos. He does a great job to turn it.
The referee did make the call. The Railhawks are trying to make the throw in here, and the referee saying, no, wait a minute. I made the call. The foul takes place before the ball goes out of bounds.
There's no intent by Adosian to play the ball. He just comes in, barrels into Novak, and that's what forced the ball. A poor touch to go out of bounds.
Battle with the right foot sends it away and downfield. Up they go. The ball through. However, the Rhinos can't get to it. Now it's recovered by Worthen. It is 20. Watched by Lines and a pass ahead. Knocked loose. Taken by Diallo. Turning forward. Down inside the 18. Right footed kick in. I missed the short side. Had Sievers breaking in at his left. Sievers a little upset that he didn't get a pass from Diallo. And Diallo this time misses the right post.
What a terrible giveaway by Lowe. The Rhinos are 3-on-1. Diallo goes for it. He's got Menyanger, who's actually attracting Sanfilippo, and Sievers is wide open on that far side. Diallo has got it, at least if he's going to take the shot, at least put it on frame. That's another one that Diallo has let go by.
Flicked forward in the middle, moving in underneath it. Bonsu will just hammer it away and downfield. Turning back for it, now to the side by Sanfilippo, the far wing for Mayer, then blocked forward, and up into, still in play on the far side. Popped up in the air, moving in underneath it is Younger, brings it forward. Looks his chip down to the 18, but ball in behind, however, headed away by Worthen and carried off by the Railhawks.
On that last play, you wonder what Lowe was thinking. Terrible touch.
Right away, cross midfield by Carrieri, tackled away neatly by Novak. Comes forward, looking for the through ball, that's through and in behind his ball, bringing it forward, down inside, near end of the 18, has Diallo breaking, pass to the middle, it's through and rolls out the far end of the 6, pass to Diallo, got tied up and couldn't take it.
I think Coach Callaway is going to have a breakdown as Diallo again on the doorstep. He just doesn't apply the finish. Unbelievable.
And then you put that together with what happened in the first half with that offside on the 2-0 breakaway, and the Rhinos putting them offside, themselves offside. Now the ball through, but Diallo's in behind, and an offside flag.
Coach Callaway, same thing I was saying in the first half. Take a look, bend your run, a little more of an arc, and you'll be fine. Diallo just he's so anxious to go forward right away.
Rhinos should have 3, maybe 4 goals so far. Here's a shot in, missing the crossbar, a foot over top on the shot from 20 out by Steele. Goal kick for the Rhinos.
And that last rush there, Kevin Novak deserves a ton of credit. Great slide tackle, speeding Johnny Ball.
Sponsors of these broadcasts include Harrow East Athletic Club on the web at harroweast.com. Food Link, Abundant Shared, and also by Moliere Chevrolet Buick. They always say yes. Kick through midfield by Vallow. Headed up in the air, coming down to the midfield line. Lines is tangled up there. Ball knocked away. Younger to Burns. Long chip forward. Seavers after it, but turning it behind is Mayer. Hands it back to the keeper, McClellan. Adds it inside the box.
Novak deserves a bit of credit. He's really turned his game around. First half a bit shaky. Second half, solid. Stayed home. Good positioning. Good timing on the tackles.
Pass ahead. Blocked to the outside again. Bansu. On the left wing for Palguda. Sends it ahead. Lines one touch right back to Palguda. Looks away downfield. Spins around. His pass ahead for Lines. He's bumped from behind. The ball knocked away and carried off by the Railhawks. Fusilier a pass ahead. Cephas in behind. Trying to get by Bansu. To the end line. He keeps it in. Yes, he does. Rolling ball on the line is booted away by Novak. Out to the 35. I was deflected along the line, and Vallow had gone after it, but that was by him. And fortunately, Novak was there. Headed away out of the box by Perry, and underneath it is Burns, and the ball brought away. Out to the midfield line, Seavers turning back but couldn't get to it. And again to the outside of the far wing, recovered by the Railhawks. On the far wing, to the outside, chased after Perry, but getting to it. On the far side, Fusilier looking for the cross. Has it at the 18, the far end of the box. Still being watched closely by Perry. Palguda moving over to help out. Off of the far wing, and dropped out top. Bringing it forward to Dozian from 20 yards out. Roller in is scooped up off the line by Vallow.
A routine, easy save there for Scott Vallow. Maybe the Rhinos getting spread a little too thin here. Time to go to the bench. There's a couple guys warming up. Kraft, Kramer loosening up. They can come in for the Rhinos, and maybe defensively there are some tired legs out there.
Widen in the air through midfield. Off of the near wing in. Underneath it is Carrieri. Drops it off for Worthen. He'll draw it forward. Pass ahead, spinning around is Cephas. Chips it through on the left wing side, but overlapping was Worthen. However, he won't get to the ball as that rolls down to the end line.
The finishing touches, the creative part of the field where the Railhawks have struggled all season long. And that time Cephas just not going anywhere with that pass.
Battle. Getting set. Again, the Rattlers are here tomorrow night. Final game of the lacrosse season. What a great season the Rattlers have had. That's tomorrow night. They take on the Boston Cannons. And then here on Sunday, the Rhinos will host the Puerto Rico Islanders. Ball centered down in front, blocked away at the 20. Moving it, shot up over top of the crossbar by Fusilier off the left foot.
Yeah, Don, we're talking penalty kick. It looks like it was a clear handball by Bansu. And the Railhawks bench up, screaming, looking for that one.
So here in the 70th minute, a substitution. Fusilier, who just took the shot, is coming off. And going in is Long. Again, this is the 70th minute.
Definitely a handball. Bansu got down, the turnaround shot, and there's a handball in the box, and the Rhinos escaping. Very lucky there.
Philip Long, 24-year-old from Oklahoma City. Played for the Wilmington Hammerheads last year in the USL Second Division, or maybe even some this year. So it's still 1-0 as the Rhinos dodge a bullet right there, and a kick from Vallo will flight it out across the midfield line. Burns able to flick it forward, overheaded back to midfield. Burns in underneath it again. This time right foots it through midfield. Diallo in underneath the ball. Trying to nod it forward as it's blocked and pushed up into the stands on the near side to throw in for the Rhinos. 18 yards out on the near side. A substitution as into the match will be Nate Kraft, and coming out is Jason Perry. Did a nice job. Got in 70 minutes in this game.
We talked about Jason. He's got to stretch it out, though. He's got to get a little more conditioning in and be able to go the full 90. He's a great defender that the Rhinos need to have out there. And it's a good chunk of time, but Jason, a little more. I think Coach Callaway is what he needs from him.
Well, 63 minutes last game, 70 here in this one, so he's getting a little bit more timing in.
That'll tweak a little defensively for the Rhinos. Kraft goes to the left. Pelgudo now, he'll pinch in side by side with Bonsu.
Up in the air, nodded to the outside. Novak able touch it forward, and then it's headed away back to midfield. And here come the Railhawks. Adosian leads the charge down to the 35 to the outside of the right wing for Steele. His cross down in front, headed away off to the far side by Bonsu. Picked up again by Steele, far corner of the box. Turning back to the right foot side, taken away by Menyanger, and the Rhinos come away with the ball.
That's double team defending. Good job by Menyanger and Aaron Lyons on that side.
On the far wing back at midfield, Lowe settling the ball. Switching through the center circle to the near wing for Worthen. Moving up the left wing side to the Rochester 35. Ball chasing. Worthen going deep. And the near end of the box. His cross attempt off a ball out over the end line. Corner kick for the Railhawks.
Worthen likes to push up. He's getting a little more involved here late in the game, as he's going to be more of an attacking presence for Carolina. They've got to try to put something in here and at least salvage a point tonight. They've had some great opportunities and a little unlucky. No PK call.
72nd minute and a 1-0 lead for the Rhinos, which has held up since back in the 12th minute. Steele, left-footed kick. Goes to the back post side, coming down in top. Head ball blocked away on the shot by Vallo. Blocked it away. Who took that shot? Was it Carrieri?
I believe it was.
There's a service down inside again. As picked up at the 20 by Worthen. Turns it to the outside along the near wing for Adosian. Moving in, crossing, down along. And I'm not sure if Vallo got a hand on that one, but the ball is played out of the near side. Couple of shots and at least one great save right there.
Let's see if Vallo got a hand on both. He deserves it. A great save, point blank range. From that distance, all you got to do is make your angle perfect and make yourself big. Vallo did a great job.
Flick down inside the box and getting to it. Ball up in the air, and it comes off of the stands on the near side. Quick throw in for the Railhawks on the near side. Steele to take the throw in. Plays it down in front. Long spinning around, but the ball taken away by Sievers. Pass off. Novak to Menyanger toward the middle for Burns. Turns it back on the outside of the near wing for Novak. Up the right wing along the near touchline for Ball. As he tries to get away, is dumped off the ball by Steele, who goes down. I think he sort of caught a knee or an ankle or something, twisted something, and goes down.
Just an awkward, kind of sloppy tangle up there. And
Lowe's going to get the yellow card. He ran away with the ball. Give me the ball back. No.
You know, why, though? You don't want to slow down the game. You want to. That's just helping the Rhinos. You're eating away at the clock. That's a bad choice there by Lowe.
Well, Steele is up and walks along as he is limping a little bit. 74th minute. And still it's 1-0 in favor of the Rhinos.
They're taking a well-deserved drink here on the sideline. He did a good job in the second half. That's just an awkward challenge with Lowe and or Steele and Johnny Ball. No intent to injure him. Just gets tangled up in the foot and then there goes down.
Menyanger turns in behind Steele to get away. Pass up the wing for Sievers. He gets tied up and the ball brought away by Worthen of the Railhawks and intercepted by Menyanger. 20 yards out, through ball inside. Diallo moving in. Shot blocked away by McClellan. Spins back, finds the ball and pounces on it. Diallo got the shot away, but McClellan was right there.
That's all he could do there for Diallo, was just trying to get that little chip up and over the keeper. McClellan gets a real big body in front of it.
Cross midfield on the near side. Turn to the outside as unable to get stopped with Cephas. Ball rolls out. Throw it on the near side for the Rhinos from their own 35.
That's the case there. I think the blame goes to Johnny Steele. Cephas waiting for the ball. It's just too many cute little touches. Get rid of it. Continue with the play.
Burns drives it through midfield. Dombrowski knocks it down, but ball stepping in. The Rhinos have it. Pass in the middle. Sievers taken down on a tackle by Sanfilippo. And play brought away. No call. Cross midfield on the near side for Steele. As he goes to open space on the left wing, and Bonsu turning back. Adosian after the ball. Bonsu plays it back to the keeper, Vallo. He'll right-foot it away out toward midfield, headed up in the air by Long on the near side, taken now by Steele. Left wing 35 yards out. He'll switch it off to the far side. And underneath it, Carrieri drawing in forward. Looks to the outside, pass and overlapping on the far wing. On forward, a long cross through the box, coming out of the near side. As Novak blocking Long away from the ball. And taken down, foul is called. The Rhinos will have a kickoff there about their 1 yard line.
And that'll be another freebie coming out of their own half of the field, Novak and Long. Here's the first push, second push, and easy call for the official.
Rhinos are here Sunday, 6 o'clock. As kickoff time, taking on the Puerto Rico Islanders right here. Come on out Sunday night. Pass head Novak to Burns. Long on the right wing side through midfield. Turning back, Sanfilippo heads it away on the near wing and Worthen in underneath it. As ball bumps him, Sievers knocks it away for Diallo. And a foul is called. The Rhinos double teaming and knocking down Worthen.
I didn't see the foul.
Well, I didn't either. But the whistle blew. Caught an unfair advantage. The referee didn't like it. Through midfield, out on the near side, Novak gets in the way of a pass, knocks it down, and comes up with it. Then he's wiped out by Worthen. Yellow card is issued to Worthen. And Novak is slow getting up. The trainer will be called out to take a look at Kevin Novak.
That's rubbish. Worthen, what's he thinking there? Novak's clearly going to win the ball. You got to come run through. There's intent to injure. And it's a foolish decision. Worthen's even down with an injury. No reason to do that there.
That was intent to injure himself.
He did. He got the worst of it, maybe. We'll see. Now he's up. Novak coming down in the air, landing on his back. That's just rubbish from Worthen.
Well, Novak having a little trouble getting up. The Rhinos had another defender injured last game, Chris Aloisi.
Worthen is clearly way behind the play there. You let up on your run, you get back to your spot, you call it a day. Worthen just does not stop, runs through the player. Easy yellow card.
Substitution, Anthony Mayer is now in place of Adosian here in the 77th minute.
Adosian's done a lot of work. Hasn't received the ball too deep in Rhinos territory. He was doing a lot of checking back to get some touches on the ball. And he's got to be spent. Up and down all over the field.
So there's two Mayers on the field now. Anthony Mayer, who'll be playing up front. His brother, Matthew Mayer, is the defender. Right-footed in the air downfield. Has headed away, back in the middle, and then pushed out near midfield. The Rhinos getting to it. Burns spinning around, center circle, drops it to his own side of midfield for Palguda. We're in the 78th minute. He'll play it all the way back to the keeper. Battle stops it at his 18 as Mayer applies pressure, and Battle will then boot it away through midfield. Get it right back into Rhino territory, and Bonsu will do the same the other way. On the near wing, Novak, and a challenge on Worthen. Maybe looking for a little payback as they get tied up. Ball moving and drills it into the midsection of Worthen, who turns and he starts yelling at the referee.
There can't be a complaint there. John Ball came in, he played the ball. Worthen was there, fine. Leave it at that. The ball hit Worthen, and that's I don't understand what the beef is.
Well, Dombrowski, Sanfilippo, the whole team is after the referee. I'm not sure either.
I mean, the ball's on the ground.
Now we have Lowe, just gave Diallo an elbow. Comes back with the left hand, gives Diallo a shove. As Steele steps in the middle, and Ben Younger, showing his size, steps in between them.
Yeah, it's a scary presence there. But, the Railhawks really all game have played chippy.
Yellow card is issued to Diallo. 79th minute.
And now they get a little taste of their own medicine, and all you know what breaks loose.
Well, interesting, and could be even more interesting in the remaining 11 or 12 minutes.
Yeah, getting heated. Carolina, I think, a little frustrated.
Two-man wall for the Rhinos, 25 yards out. Kick 35 yards out off the left wing side to be taken by Lowe. Right along the near touchline. As the referee says, okay, go for it. And here comes the service from Lowe. In the box, kicked away out of the near side by Lines, out toward midfield. Rolling ball across midfield, Diallo and Lowe tangling up, and a foul is called on Diallo once again. So we'll have a restart for the Railhawks.
Diallo must have had a bad day because he is a man possessed. He is out for anything he can get today. He is fired up.
Up in the air, downfield, headed aside. Novak tried to boot it away, but Worthen blocks it to the end line. And a goal kick for the Rhinos. Now, Vallo yelling at the referee about something. I'm not sure. I guess he says that Worthen came in with a boot up a little too high. 80th minute here at Paytech. 80th minute, 1-0 in favor of the Rhinos.
There's been a lot of that. Johnny Steele is notorious for coming in with the studs up on players, and Worthen now getting in on the act as well. And, when Carolina wants to play soccer, very attractive, very nice brand of soccer. But when they resort to some of this physical nonsense, it's just it's a bad slap in the face.
Dallow fights it through midfield. As Dombrowski up the back of Burns, and now they're going to call a foul on Burns for backing in underneath.
Burns was prevented from even challenging there because Dombrowski's got his hands on his back.
Okay, so Dombrowski up on the back of Burns, and Burns gets called for backing in underneath him.
Terrible call.
On the outside of the near wing. Sanfilippo toward the middle, one touch ahead for Lowe. Blocked by Steele, 20 yards out. On the near side for Worthen. His cross down along the 6 in front, and headed away and out by Kraft on the far wing. Heading to it once again. Ray Railhawks down in front, but that's headed away from his 15 by Bonsu, and Ball with it. Plays it off in the middle, but stepping in, knocked away and off on the near wing. Steele on the left wing side, down to the 25, to the outside. Worthen, the near end of the 18. Across for the back post, up in the air, the ball knocked away, and recovered by Lyons. Turns to the outside of a pass ahead out of the box for Severs. Drops it off for Lyons, one touch ahead out near midfield. Taken by Diallo. Long switch to the outside of the near wing for Ball. On the right wing and across midfield. Here come the Rhinos. Ball, through ball to Diallo. Moving in, blocks it forward. Catching up at the 20. Brings it in, tackled and taken down. He's taken down right at the 18. Foul is called in the middle on Dombrowski. It's outside the box.
Outside the box, fine, but you better go to your pocket. At least a yellow. That could even be a red card.
It could be a red. He was the last man.
That's
Diallo
right.
was on a breakaway. Tackled from behind.
Batsu, come on, card? No. You know what? The referee, in all honesty, has not had one of his best games. Great look through. Diallo streaking through.
Oh, he got the ball.
He got the ball. He got the ball. I'm going to take back what I say. I'm going to support the referee on this one.
No, you don't need to. Don't worry about it. So what if he got the ball? Still a bad call.
He got the ball. Now the Rhinos actually catch a break here, and that's a great tackle by Dombrowski. But again, in the speed of play, very difficult to tell. The Carolina fans watching at USL Live will not be happy to see that call.
Ball is placed 6 inches outside the 18-yard line, directly in the middle of the field. Directly in the middle. About 150-man wall.
Look at this.
Set up along the 8. Moving in, Younger steps over. Ball goes for it. Scores! Johnny Ball puts it away. A beautiful fake in the ball. Ball puts it away. The Rhinos up 2-0.
Huge break. Huge, maybe an understatement. Johnny Ball doing a nice job. He can go right or left. He goes to the keeper's right. Gets the benefit off the post, and that's a nice finish by number 13, Johnny Ball. And the Rhinos catch a huge break.
Ball scoring his second of the season. And the Rhinos a little breathing room now as they're up 2-0. And this is the 83rd minute.
Top of the 18th. It's actually deflected off the Carolina wall. May have been a gap in the Railhawks wall. The deflection catches the keeper off guard. He's frozen for a split second. There's no chance to prevent that from going in.
Going to have a substitution. Martinez coming in. Johnny Younger coming off. What a great game Younger has played here tonight.
Very effective. Very effective. Very quiet presence, but very steady performance by Johnny Younger.
84th minute, time of the substitution.
Goal scored by number 13, John Ball.
So, it's 2-0 now in favor of the Rhinos. Sanfilippo, long chip up the left wing side. Underneath it, low head to the side, and Burns will pop it up in the air in the near wing. Out of bounds, throw in for the Railhawks. Sanfilippo to take the throw in on the left wing. On the near side. That to Mayer, rolling along the near touchline. Steele going to the end line. Watched there by Bonsu. Deep in the corner. Steele gets across. Down along the 6, headed away and out of the box. Nodded away further. Out to the 25. Lowe trying to settle the ball. Gets tied up there. Foul is called. And a free kick for Carolina Railhawks. 30 yards out in the middle of the field.
Pano Lowe was going to tee it up, and just the obstruction there prevents it from getting contact on goal. The referee, though, really some tough calls both ways. Carolina deserved a PK on the Bonsu handball in the box, and then the Rhinos get a big break.
Rhino setting a wall just outside the 18. 4-man, 5-man wall.
Our great producer, John Catalano, showing us the highlight of the great tackle by Dombrowski that gets called for the foul.
4-man wall. 22 here, make that 20 yards out. Lowe will take the kick. Left foot goes for the frame, and it's grabbed off the line by Vallow.
Nice, huge round of applause for Scotty Vallow. Sets the wall up. His positioning is perfect. Well struck ball by Lowe. But with the swerving shot, it's coming back towards the center of the goal.
Boy, he got a boot on that one. High kick downfield. Big bouncer. And it's headed in the air, moving in underneath it. Severs couldn't get to it. Played away by Dombrowski out to midfield. Turning back of the ball, Cephas. As he gets grabbed onto, a foul is called on Palguda. Rhinos will have a restart. Lions kick the ball away, so he's going to get the yellow card here in the 86th minute.
Cheap one there for Lions. Doesn't need that.
Now, especially when you've just taken a 2-0 lead.
2-0 lead. The Rhinos had plenty of defensive coverage. Doesn't need to add that little extra touch there. See if they were short defensively. You want to slow things down, but everybody was back.
Booted away by the keeper, McClellan, up the near side. Bouncing through the near corner of the box. Steele, 5 yards out, laying it to the end line, being blocked away. As the ball was out over the end line, it'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos. Other sponsors of these broadcasts include Nothnagel, Rochester's full-service realtor. And also brought to you by Perry's Ice Cream, life's a bowl of Perry's.
And all the mix-up there, Menyager did come off. Ray Martinez has come on. And Ray's got a couple minutes here to make something happen off that flank.
Vallow to take the kick. Scott Vallow's 100th start as a Rhino.
Congratulations to him, and hopefully those zeros continue to...
You didn't just say that, did you?
No, I did.
Oh, good. Now in the middle, along the midfield line, popped up in the area underneath it. Kraft able to nod it forward across midfield. He's another one who's had a lot of injuries to contend with this year, trying to get back into playing shape. Off the right wing side, Martinez rolling to the outside, deep to the corner for Ball. He'll take the ball, try and hold on as long as he can in the corner. It finally rolled away over the end line, and the indication is a corner kick for the Rhinos.
You get the feeling that the Rhinos are going to get those key components back just in time. Kenny Burns, he's got the wrap now on the wrist. The cast is off, so Vallow's back. You get the feeling that things may work out just fine.
Martinez holding the ball in the end line. It got away, rolled out over the end line. Another corner kick for the Rhinos. They'll do corners all night long if you let them.
Yeah, he'll take that space there, but he's going to take the knocks too. It's the first touch from Ball to Martinez, and they just come crashing in with the hard pressure.
Ball rolling it off to Martinez once again. Look for the cross, puts it away off Sanfilippo over the end line. Yet another corner for the Rhinos.
You know, fans might be like, what is going on here? This is just, it's a great tactic. Not pretty, but the points are on the table still, folks.
Ball just rolled it. It got away from it, rolled it out over the touchline, and the linesman says, that's enough of that.
I don't think I've ever seen that in soccer.
We're going to give the ball, turn it over on the throw-in for the Railhawks. Carolina plays it out to midfield. Cephas turning, trying to get away from Bonsu. Being challenged, taken down from behind. A foul is called. Here comes the yellow card on T-Bone Bonsu.
Yeah, that's definitely from behind. No challenge there.
Quick restart, a little too quick by the Railhawks, so this yellow card here in the 88th minute.
You know, I know Cephas doesn't work into the plans of Scotty Schweitzer. He likes some bigger target men up top, but he's such a great player with the ball at his feet. He deserves some more time. I think he could be a huge impact for the attack.
We're in the 89th minute. Steele, 35 yards out in the middle of the field, looking for the free kick here. Chips it down inside the 18. Hit ball in, and it's up over top of the net as Vallow grabbing onto the crossbar, lets it roll out. It'll be a goal kick for the Rhinos.
Val comes sprinting out to the top of the 18.
That's because he doesn't want to turn back and get the ball. He wants to come running outside the 18. He'll yell at his players for a while, then he'll turn back and go find the ball.
Part of the show?
Oh, absolutely.
Smart, very smart.
He's got some great moves. I've watched him, of course, for many years now.
And he hasn't had a word yet from the official. Yep. Nothing.
Well, he did have earlier.
Oh, that's right. In the
first half, the ref blew the whistle and said, come on. All right, so Vallow with the right foot. Sends it out through midfield. Headed back into Rhino territory, but right to Novak. Nods it down to midfield for Martinez to the outside of the near wing. Throw in on the near side for Sanfilippo. And we'll have 4 minutes of stoppage time, 4 minutes injury time. Through midfield into Rhino territory. That's flicked along the 18, coming out of the near side. Steele stepping in behind Novak. Lays it to the outside for Worthen. On the left wing, a high cross for the back post through the 6, and now through the far end of the 18. Over the corner, knocked down by Mayer. Back to recover Sievers for the Rhinos. Turns it ahead. Right-footed out near midfield, skipping by the foot of Matt Mayer all the way down and across midfield and out of bounds. Throw in for the Railhawks from their own side of midfield.
And now it's a matter. I had even dropped Sievers back, leave Diallo as the lone forward. Bunker down. Bring this thing home.
Novak heads it away to Martinez, pushing it off in the center circle, then blocks it away downfield and chasing. In behind, Dombrowski plays it back to the keeper, and McClellan first timing it away. Out through midfield to the near side, Steele in Rhino's territory. Johnny Steele, the former Rhino, left foots it down inside the box. Palguda boots it away on the near side. Off the right foot of Novak, away and out of bounds.
Screaming at Ray Martinez to get back defensively.
Headed up in the air by Burns out of the near side. Steele in underneath it, looking for the cross, deflected away off a ball, coming out top. On Long with a chip down inside the 18. Far into the box, blocked to the end line by Carrieri, and blocked away out over the end line. A corner kick for the Railhawks.
Carrieri just doesn't get that ball to settle down at his feet. Just strike it with the right foot, doesn't get enough settle on it, and then it's out of play. A corner kick here for the Railhawks. Lucky for the Rhinos, the touch wasn't there.
Corner out the right wing side, low into the box, and that skipped through, but getting to it is Ball to jam it away out of the box and all the way out to near midfield. Diallo after it on the left wing side. Now into Railhawk territory, being watched on the outside by Long. Drops it off for Lyons, who catches up on the play. Again turning to the outside and a pass ahead for Diallo. 35 yards out, rolls it off in the middle, back at the center circle for Burns. He'll switch it to the outside of the near wing, but that's behind Martinez, so the Rhinos give it away. And to throw it on the near side for the Railhawks.
Not good there, not good at all by Burns.
Wide ahead, Steele on the throw in to Sanfilippo. Long service up the left wing side. Bunsu will let it roll all the way down and through out over the end line. And that should waste a little time as he'll have the goal kick now for the Rhinos.
Dell gets one of his long bombs off. Diallo or Martinez can take possession and just go to the corner flag and bring this one home.
We're in stoppage time, and the Rhinos are up 2-0. Diallo setting the ball at his 6. Rhinos here Sunday night against the Puerto Rico Islanders. Puerto Rico playing tonight in Atlanta. So Sunday night, 6 o'clock. Don't forget about tomorrow night as Ball backheeling the ball to hit for himself, but got away from him and out of bounds. Tomorrow night, the Rattlers lacrosse team will be here as they wrap up a great season, getting ready for the championship. To the outside of the near wing for Ball, able to play it away. Nice job of getting to it. Able to drive it all the way down to the end line, and McClellan has to get to it. Outside the near end of the 18, picks it up, draws it back in the box.
Burns making things a little difficult here on some of his touches late in the game.
Bonsu able to head it aside, but out of bounds on the near wing, and a throw in for the Railhawks. About halfway through the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Sanfilippo with a throw in. As up in the air, comes out of the near side. Sanfilippo again, 35 yards out. Lays it off in the middle for Dombrowski. Pulling it forward. He'll switch back to the left foot side. Trying to sneak the ball through, but blocked away out of the near side. In underneath it, Steele with a cross, but blocked away by Lyons. And up with the ball up the right side, and Aaron Lyons running onto it. Cross midfield, being countered from behind and knocked flying by Steele. And the foul is called.
Frustration, aggravation, anger, all coming out there for Johnny Steele.
Ball sends a high floater down to the 6. And up in the air, McClellan brings it down as Diallo was right there.
Right there with a half challenge, maybe?
Yeah. Cleared across midfield, bopped up in the air. About a minute or so to go here in stoppage time. Cephas off in the middle for Lowe. Turns it to the outside, near into the box for Worthen. Left foots it down inside. Spinner off the end line, over the end line and out. And off of Novak, corner kick for the Railhawks.
I tell you, if we had a comeback player of the game tonight, it's got to be Novak. First half, he was out of sorts. The second half, he got himself settled down in the locker room. He's come out and done a very good job.
Corner kick off the left wing side. Steele serves it up. Into the box. Head ball up in the air. Coming outside the box on the near wing. And in underneath it goes Ball. As he's chased there by Sanfilippo, drawing it away in the near wing. And then he's sent flying into the field signs by Dombrowski. Ball has played an extremely strong game here tonight.
He has. You know, Scotty Schweitzer, John Ball, very good friends. And that's always going to add a little more to the matchup. And Ball's wanted to give a little extra tonight. He sure has.
Novak placing the ball into the 35. Vallo's coming all the way over the field on the near side to take the kick.
You're saying throw-in or kick? Fourth official says throw-in. Referee says kick.
Who asked you? Go sit down.
He's got to do something besides raise that board.
Vallo fights it downfield. Diallo pushed as the ball is knotted out. And it is out over the end line. A corner kick for the Rhinos. Rochester corner off the right wing side.
We're past 4 minutes. I'll be surprised if
it should be it. Should be about it. As the ball now is blocked away out over the end line once again. Well, this time foul is called into the restart for the Railhawks. We've gone past 4 minutes, but still the time continues. Brought forward in stoppage time, and now Steele in a collision with Ball. And the foul is called. There's the restart, sent through the center circle. Off in the far wing. Whistle should blow right about now. And it finally does, and the Rhinos come away with the victory. So Rochester up with the win here tonight. Picking up the victory. It's been quite some time since we have seen a shutout win for the Rhinos. But Scott Bello, in his return here tonight, comes up with a shutout, and the Rhinos come away with a 2-0 victory.
Big upswing. Great stuff, Scotty Bello. Good job. And it's great to see him come back, get the shutout. Maybe the Rhinos' defense is going to be bolstered down, and we'll see how it goes.
2-0 victory for the Rhinos. As the rally got to, what's this, out at center field, the players are starting to mix it up again. Some pushing going on with Kraft, and one of the...
Kraft is actually stopping Cupano low. Johnny Steele's in there. There's
Worthen, and Burns steps in, the goalkeeper coming over, as the players are all milling around. Now John Ball and the goalkeeper having a few words, and Chase Harrison steps in the middle.
A lot of emotion.
Rhinos assistant coach Hugo Muslin is over trying to get his players away, as is coach Laurie Calloway. So just some pushing and shoving going on, and words being exchanged.
Not surprised. Again, a lot of history between these two teams, and frustration from Carolina.
And there will be a lot more history in the years to come, I would have to say.
You're not kidding.
All right, so the Rhinos come away with a 2-0 victory. And we'll send you down to Soccer Sam in just a moment when he's ready to go. Is he ready? Sammy, you there? Take it away, kiddo.
Thanks, Don. Thanks, Joe. All right, we tried to interview Jamie Holmes at halftime. He had a little injury. Jamie, how's your leg?
I just got a tight hamstring. I didn't pull or strain it, but just for precautionary reasons, I didn't go back into the game. So hopefully Sunday I'll be able to get back out there, score another goal, win some games.
All right.
Do my thing.
Now, Jamie comes from the Wilmington Hammerheads.
Right.
3 goals, 3 assists.
Right.
And now you're here. How'd you end up being a Rhino, man? How did it all happen?
Thankfully, Coach Calloway knows my head coach down there. They're old English buddies, and so I guess when Delicott got hurt, I got a chance to come up and do my thing, so I'm just happy to be here and glad I could contribute, do something.
Well, you got 3 shots, Morgan, right here. 3 shots. Yeah. 2 of them were goals. 1 was called back. Are you upset that Diallo got in the way of that one? It was going in, I think.
No, I meant to pass that to him, but unfortunately, I should have just buried that, but I got a little unselfish there. It'll never happen again.
you gotta get selfish, right?
Right, exactly. A striker gotta be selfish at all times.
So tell me about your deal, man. You're married, single. Look at this Scott Bell here. With this shutout Scott Bell with a little kiss.
No, I'm single.
Single?
Ladies, single.
Oh, look at this, ladies. Look at. He'll be his.
I'm just kidding. No, I am single though. That is a fact. And lonely.
Sunday night. This Sunday night.
Sunday night. The Lord's Day. I mean, something's got to happen.
This guy's better looking than David Beckham, I think, right?
Right. No, my mom thinks so. But that's probably about it.
Jamie Holmes, one of our newest Rhinos. Let's go back up to Don and Joe. Thanks, Jamie.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much.
All right, Sammy, thank you very much. And he was fun to watch in that first half. And I think, Joe, that he could be one that could be very enjoyable to watch over the.
That's a good late season pickup by Coach Calloway, and got some style. He's got some strength and some style. He's going to be a good presence.
So tonight it's a final here at Paytech Park as the Rhinos come away with the victory. The final score, the Rochester Rhinos 2, the Carolina Railhawks 0. And this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Tonight at Paytech Park, the Rhinos come up with a much-needed victory, a 2-0 win over the Carolina Railhawks. And certainly the Rhinos gaining a little ground on Montreal, gaining a little ground, might be gaining some ground on Puerto Rico yet tonight. As scores elsewhere coming in are sounding pretty good so far. Montreal ending up scoreless in their game. And at the moment, Puerto Rico trailing in their game. So the Rhinos perhaps to gain some ground and much closer now to locking up a playoff spot. In fact, I think it was 33 points was the final playoff spot last year. That put the last team into the playoffs last year. 33 points is what the Rhinos have now after their victory here today. So that might be what they needed to get into the playoffs, and certainly another win would help them cement that hold on a playoff spot.
Still 5 games to play, a lot of points they can pick up, and you want to get away much more away from that 33.
All right, let's check out the scoring in tonight's game. The post-game statistics brought to you by the Farish Group. Best seat in the house is in your Farish apartment. See them all at Farish.com. First goal of the game coming in the 12th minute, and it was coming from newcomer Jamie Holmes, scoring his first as a Rhino. John Ball assisting, and this was the one that turned out to be the game-winning goal. Brought forward by Ball across midfield, chasing behind by Steele. Turns it to the right side. Holmes blocking it forward, moving it right-footed blast. In, scores! Jamie Holmes, first goal as a Rhino, bested inside the left post. Beautiful feed from Ball, and the Rhinos up 1-0. So Holmes scores his first Ball assist, and that's in the 12th minute. The Rhinos up to a 1-0 lead. That was all they needed as they did continue on through the game. No scoring in the first half, but they did find a little insurance on the night coming in the 83rd minute as John Ball scores. And a set piece is second of the season. Ball scoring unassisted, and this gives the Rhinos a 2-0 lead. Moving in then, Younger steps over. Ball goes for it. Scores! Johnny Ball puts it away. A beautiful fake in the ball. Ball puts it away. The Rhinos up 2-0. So that one in the 83rd minute. Rhinos up 2-0 and held on the rest of the way for the victory here tonight. The stats on the night, unofficial stats at this point, 15 shots for the Railhawks and 8 for the Rhinos, as Carolina really came on after the Rhinos took a 1-0 lead, but did outshoot Rochester 15-8. Rhinos shots, corner kicks, had 9 for the Railhawks and 8 for the Rhinos. Offsides, Rochester 6 offsides, 2 against Carolina. In the fouls department, 18 fouls against Rochester, 15 against Carolina. In saves, Scott Vallow credited with 6, and the other end, Chris McCullen, credited with 4 saves. Vallow, in his return to the lineup here tonight, comes up with the shutout victory. Has a shutout, 2 on the year and 3 games played. So now a 2-1-0 record for Scott Vallow, and the other end, McClellan, a 5-7-7 record on the season. So there's your post-game stats tonight. And the Rhinos, the very important stat, a 2-0 victory.
Scott Vallow, the big story of the night tonight, and you just had a different feel with him back in the lineup, and you could feel there was a little more calm play from the Rhinos and a little more presence in the back. And I think with Burt's coming back and Kraft now coming back, the Rhinos defensively will see a much stronger team than we've seen so far this season.
Well, Birch is at least 2 weeks away, though. And then also Delicott is probably they're both Birch and Delicott are probably 2 or 3 weeks away yet.
It's starting to trickle back in, though. Yeah. Kraft, Vallow, and it's starting to trickle back in, and that's a good sign for the Rhinos.
And then Aloisi was hurt last week, and I don't think his is a long-term injury, so he could be back.
He's another one, too, who's found his rhythm and has gotten much more comfortable in his play.
All right, let's run through these awards tonight. First of all, the call of the game, which is brought to you by Paytech, personalizing personal communications. Long ball through, down inside, chased after. Here's a 2-0 break. The Rhinos moving in. Little chip. Diallo after the ball. Scores! Wait a minute. What's the flag in the air now?
Offsides. I don't know about that one.
Why would the flag go up? It was a 2-0 break.
And the ball was pushed forward. I don't know about that one.
All right, explain, Joe, what happened on it?
We may have jumped the gun on it. 2-0 breakaway.
What's this wee stuff, Komasabi?
You're coming with me, baby. You're coming with me.
Downhill?
Diallo just overran the ball a little bit. He was too far forward. And lucky for us, we have the replay to see it. The play that we saw, we thought he was on, but he was definitely offsides and a little too anxious pushing forward.
Well, certainly the Rhinos should have had another one there, and actually there's a couple more goals they should have had on the night.
Diallo should have had. He was knocking on the door all night long, and but again, he's finding opportunities, he's finding space, and I think Diallo maybe was trying a little bit too hard tonight. He'll be fine, though, once he gets back into that rhythm.
Pellegrino's Sub of the Game. Tonight's Sub of the Game selection brought to you by Pellegrino's. Always fresh, always fast, always delicious. Let's see, the subs tonight included Sievers, Kraft, and Martinez.
I'm going to go with Cephas from
you're going the other side.
I'm going the other way tonight. I thought he was a player who should even see more time for the Railhawks up top. I thought Cephas.
You only picked him because he's short like you.
Well, we got to stick together.
Yeah, man. I thought Severs did well.
He did well,
not
but
a whole
he came
lot
in
of
for a
touches,
guy
but
like Holmes, who I thought was a huge presence in the first half. I think Severs kind of tailed off coming in for Holmes. I thought Holmes was on fire tonight.
All right, if you insist.
Thank you very much.
Okay, tonight's Power Trip Player of the Game selection brought to you by Power Trip. Get in the game.
I'm gonna go with a guy who's standing in front of the Rhinos bench. Look at the throng of people around him. Scotty Vallow makes his return, gets the shutout, and like I said before, you get the feeling that the Rhinos defense is going to be much, much stronger with him back in the lineup.
I might almost go with the numbers tonight. John Ball with a goal and an assist on the night, and I thought he played an extremely strong game. He took a lot of elbows. He took a lot of beating on the night, and he delivered a few of his own. And in a very physical kind of a game, I think he's a player you got to have out there.
Yeah, John Ball, very close friends with head coach Scott Schweitzer. So to get a goal on top of things, that's huge for Johnny Ball. And you mentioned he took some elbows. He's the kind of guy, if you don't give it to him first, he's going to give it to you. So they knew that going in, and John Ball made his mark with that last goal in the second half.
At any time you win a game, there's a lot of players of the game possibilities, and there were some others you mentioned. Novak played extremely strong. Bonsu, I thought, played very big in the back end, and on and on. An excellent performance by the whole team. So tonight's Excellus Play of the Game, which is brought to you by Excellus Blue Cross Blue Shield, helping you achieve your goals. Steele, up-footed kick, goes to the back post side, coming down in top, head ball, blocked away on the shot by Vallow, blocked it away. Who took that shot? Was it Carrieri?
I believe it was.
And a great save right there by Vallow. I wasn't quite sure if it had gotten through to him, but he did block it off the post on the far side, didn't he?
He definitely made a save. And again, we talked about it during the broadcast. When you're point blank like that, you got to play a good position and make yourself as big as possible. Textbook. Great stuff there from Scotty Vallow.
All right, so Vallow's triumphant return to the lineup here tonight. Have missed 20 games, so comes back with a shutout victory in this one as the Rhinos defeat the visiting Carolina Railhawks 2-0. Rhinos will be off until Sunday night. Not very long to enjoy the victory here tonight. They'll just have to try and turn it into another win. The very strong Puerto Rico Islanders coming to town. At the moment, or coming into tonight, the Rhinos and Puerto Rico were tied in the standings for fourth place. And Puerto Rico, a very strong, latter half of the season after a slow beginning. But a strong team coming in here Sunday night. Very important game for the Rhinos.
It sure is. And, the Rhinos, not to take anything away from the win tonight, but Carolina is a team that's probably not going to make the playoffs if they continue playing like this. So the Rhinos caught them at a time when the wheels may be falling off. Puerto Rico is a whole different story. They're neck and neck with the Rhinos, and I look for a much, much more competitive game on Sunday.
And also tomorrow night, by the way, don't forget that the Rattlers lacrosse team will be here to wrap up their season. What a great season. I think they have a chance, tomorrow night to wrap up the regular season title. That would be here at Paytech Park tomorrow night. The kickoff at 7:30, so come on out tomorrow night, then right back here on Sunday night as the Rhinos will host the Puerto Rico Islanders at 6 o'clock. All right, Joe Giuliano and Soccer Sam will be continuing on with the post-game show coming up in just a couple of moments. What do you got going tonight?
Well, I definitely want to hear from the fans, 346-3000, and your thoughts, the Rhinos 2-0 win, and also the return of Scott Vallow. It wasn't a very busy night for Scotty Vallow, but he did the things he had to do, and he got the shutout, and love to hear from the fans on the postgame show.
I know, as we talked about before, I was very nervous about the pressure being applied to Scott Vallow here tonight, and fortunately, not only did he play well, but he also seemed like he had pretty good defensive help from his teammates, as the wall back there looked pretty decent. The Railhawks did have some scoring opportunities, and the Rhinos did catch a few breaks.
They sure did. Bonsu, a handball in the box, clearly a penalty kick, but as we move on to Sunday, we've got to keep that kind of same perspective. Scott Vallow's only human. He can only do so much as he gets back into the flow of things. So we've got to give him a little bit of a break here as he gets back into the Rhinos 2007 season. Great effort tonight. Hopefully it builds upon it, and we see it on Sunday.
Stick around for more of the post-game show coming up with Joe and Sam, and thanks to Nick back at the studios for a great job again tonight. I'm Don Stevens. Final score from Paytech Park, the Rhinos 2, the Railhawks nothing, and this is the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
Welcome back to Raging Rhinos Soccer. This is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Joe Giuliano with you tonight. And Soccer Sam will be joining us shortly. Your final score from Paytech Park this evening, The Raging Rhinos 2, the Carolina Railhawks nothing. Scoring for Rochester tonight, Jamie Holmes with the assist to John Ball, and John Ball scoring unassisted with a free kick tonight. So big night for Holmes and for John Ball. 1 goal, 1 assist. The Rhinos coming away with the 2-0 victory. It's time for the Zweigels out-of-town scoreboard and standings. 2 games in addition to this one tonight. Miami was at Montreal, 0-0 from Claude Robillard Stadium. Puerto Rico, Atlanta. Last update we had there, second half PK goal by the Silverbacks. They lead the Puerto Rico Islanders 1-0 right now. So good result for Rhino fans if it stays that way. Standings now in the USL First Division. Portland topping the table still with 39 points. Seattle with 38. With the draw tonight, Montreal bumps up to 35 points, 2 points ahead of the Raging Rhinos, who have 33 points. Again, Puerto Rico still underway. If they are going to fall to the Silverbacks, they'll be stuck at 30 points. Atlanta would then jump to 32 points with a win tonight. Miami FC, 28 points after the draw up in Montreal. Carolina, will they make the playoffs? They are struggling right now. 22 points after 22 games played, 5-10-7. And Scotty Schweitzer's team is going to need a big push to make it into the USL playoffs this year. That's a look at the Zweigels out-of-town scoreboard and standings. When we come back, it's the Heineken Direct call-in show. The number is 346-3000. Free call on the Verizon Wireless at star 1040 or toll-free 1-866-552-1009. If you're just tuning in, the Rhinos 2-0 over the Railhawks. We'll take your calls next on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. It is time for your phone calls. The number is 346-3000. If you have a Verizon cell phone, star 1040. It's a free call. And also toll-free 866-552-1009. The final score, Rochester 2-0 over the Carolina Railhawks. And Scotty Vallow makes his return to the lineup. Congratulations to Scott Vallow getting the shutout in the nets tonight. And good to see Scott Vallow come back and really a huge defensive presence for the Rhinos. And the Rhinos, again, shutting out the Railhawks tonight. Last shutout for Rochester. Let's take a look here, folks. We're going way back. It's U.S. Open Cup on June the 12th against Long Island, 1-0. If you want to look for a shutout in league play, we go to June 1st, 1-0 over Miami. And that is a long ways back, and hopefully with Scotty Vallow returning to the lineup, the defense will really bunker down and make a big push here for the USL First Division Championship. Number again, 346-3000. Give us a call, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. We will take your calls here tonight talking about the Rhinos' 2-0 win. With the victory tonight, Rochester has a record of 9 wins, 8 losses, and 6 ties, 33 points now in the USL First Division. We're going to do some trivia, throw some trivia out there to get some calls coming in as well. And first question of the evening, it's good for a 4-pack to Sunday's game. The Rhinos and Puerto Rico, 6:05 kickoff right here at Paytech Park. 4-pack, if you can answer this question. The Rhinos' new forward, number 9, Jamie Holmes, was drafted by which MLS team? Jamie Holmes was drafted by which MLS team? Give us a call, 346-3000, and our producer Nick will get you on the air right away. Going to hopefully speak with Scott Vallow tonight and Lori Calloway, talking about the Rhinos' big victory tonight over the Carolina Railhawks. And again, for Scotty Schweitzer and the rest of the team, it is a lot of work ahead if they are to make the USL First Division playoffs. Again, the number 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. And if we got some calls, we can go to them, Nick. Whenever you're ready, we're set here back at the stadium. Soccer Sam is making his way up to the press box as well to take your calls on the Heineken Direct call-in show, also sponsored by Auction Direct. Rhinos goals tonight, the 11th minute, Jamie Holmes scoring from John Ball. 83rd minute, John Ball scoring with the, they're saying assist to Johnny Manyanger, but I thought it was a free kick, and there was no assist on that one. Maybe Manyanger did touch the ball to set the whole table there on the free kick, but looks like Manyanger gets the official assist here on the score sheet tonight. Final score again is 2-0. Trivia is still out there, folks. Jamie Holmes was drafted in 2005 by which MLS team? Which MLS team drafted Jamie Holmes in 2005? Give us a call, and we'll take your shot at the trivia. Before we do that, though, let's go to the man of the evening tonight. Scott Vallow making his return after 4 months. Scotty, welcome to the post-game show. Congratulations, and it was wonderful to see you back in the lineup. How do you feel?
I feel great, guys. I can barely hear you, but I feel good. I'm really tired, actually. I think that's probably the most goal kicks I've hit in a long, long time. So definitely a fatigue factor coming for me in the last 10 minutes or so, but I feel good overall, you know. It's good to be back out there. You know,
Scotty, butterflies at all? Getting a little nervous making your debut here or return?
To my eye, but I had little butterflies going into the game, but then once the referee blew the first whistle, then that was kind of, you know, toss it out the window, just do what you do best. You know, I'm a 9-year pro, and I figured out how to do it.
You know, Scotty, it seemed like you bring a whole different element back there in the nets. Very poised, taking your time on the goal kicks. Was it a tough transition getting back into the flow of things?
I'm sorry, I can barely.
Scott, can you hear me better now?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now. Great.
Okay. Was it tough getting back in the flow of things with the defenders in front of you, getting the feel for the game again? 4 months is a long time.
I've been training pretty much full on for the last 3 weeks or so. So, you know, that was when we started to build the relationship with the back four. You know, now it's just, you know, a matter of putting it into the practice. And usually the training sessions is actually harder than the games itself. So it's, you know, once you can get through a couple weeks of training sessions, then, you know, you can go into the game, no problem. But I can't say enough about the guys today. I mean, a lot of credit goes to Laurie and Yuka for getting us prepared for the game, and we knew it was going to be a battle. I mean, when you face a team that's fighting for their playoff lives, you know, they needed 3 points more than anything tonight, and you know, we knew it was going to take the best out of all of us. So I'm really proud of the guys for.
You know, Scotty, the Reynolds do a nice thing after the games. They open up the field, and the fans get to come out and chat with the players. I have never seen a throng of fans around any player. What a great feeling that had to be. Scotty, you still there? We may have lost Scott Vallow, but just asking Scotty about the throng of fans that surrounded him after the game. What a wonderful feeling that's got to be for Scott Vallow. You know, they open up the field for the fans to come out, and not once have I seen that many people around a player. And great to see Scott Vallow back. Hopefully we'll get him back on the line, and we'll talk with Scott Vallow about his performance in his return game tonight. Soccer Sam has joined us now, and Scotty Vallow, Superman music comes on for his introduction. Break it down, baby.
Well, I'll tell you, Scott Vallow just makes such a difference out there. Joe, I haven't been this excited since I won that ho-ho eating contest in 1983. I mean, the fans, 10,000-plus fans, everybody was on their feet. When Scott Vallow was announced, I just got chills in my arms. I mean, just the fans were just, like, loving it.
You announced him, though. What are you talking about?
Well, I announced him, but, I mean, to hear the fans' reaction, Joe, it was like old Frontier days. It was loud, man.
It was reminiscent of some of the great old days. And how about the amount of fans surrounding Scotty during your interview for TV, after for autographs? I've never seen that.
You know, there was probably no exaggeration, 1,000 people on there. They brought in all the security. Craig Brzezinski brought in his whole media team there, PR department, to protect him. And, you know, Scott's wife's near him, kind of worried about. And at least, you know, there's a lot of fans. Anything could happen.
True.
I mean, people were trying to take his shoes, his gloves. I mean, it was seriously, kids were trying to snag his gloves out of his things.
Oh my God!
I mean, not in a harmful, dangerous way. More, yeah. So, but it was fantastic, and I thought Jamie Holmes played fantastic in the first half.
Yes.
And what about John Ball? You're the guy that says indoor soccer. Dude, that guy goes to futsal. He comes back. He's on fire. His shot there, that was an indoor shot. Boom. Low, in the corner, perfect.
That's why he's a good player, because he plays outdoor soccer. The indoor hurts him.
No, it helps him.
No, you're crazy. Sammy, trivia is still out there. We got 4 tickets to give away tonight. Jamie Holmes was drafted by which MLS team in 2005?
Ooh.
4 tickets to the Rhinos in Puerto Rico. Give us a call, 346-3000. And I was saying before you came up, you know, with Vallow coming back in the lineup, Sam, I even felt it up here. Different presence on the field.
Just his direction on the field. You can see it. He talks to his players. You can't teach that. And it's not about experience. It's about who you are. There's doctors that have been doctors all their lives, and they're awful. And there's lawyers that have been lawyers all their lives, and they're awful. So you can't say, well, goalie's been goalie for 20 years, and he's good. No, you're born with something special. Yeah. Scott Vallow has something really, really special.
So do you. You make good pizza. And let's go back to the guy who's got something really special, Scotty Vallow. Scott, sorry we lost you there. I apologize, and it's good to have you back. I know you're getting swamped down there, but I was just saying, Scott, before we got cut off, what a throng of fans that were surrounded. I haven't seen that all season long. That must have been a great feeling.
Well, the greatest feeling was coming out of the tunnel with all the ovation and the chants and the cheers and stuff. I mean, it's a great feeling. That's why I love playing in Rochester. I mean, the fans are what makes this organization run. I've said it before, and I'll stand by it. But I can't say enough about the guys today. We fought hard. A lot of credit goes to Lori and Yuka for getting us prepared. And then a lot of credit goes to the guys for executing. The second goal John Ball scored was amazing. Took a lot of pressure off of us going into the last 10 minutes. If he doesn't score that, then we're probably getting battered for the final 10 minutes. So it's a good feeling to get 3 points in your first outing and get a shutout on top of it.
Scotty, you made a great save in the second half when at the corner of the 6, almost point blank. Take us through that situation there where you made a great save.
Well, the cross came over the top, and once you decide you can't really get it, then your obligation is to take care of the goal, and just try to get into a proper position and try to make any kind of save you can. So the shot came out hard from Dombrowski, and I just kind of reflexed out and stuck my leg out, and it hit me like right in the calf and ricocheted out, and it kind of threw me off balance. I then fell to the ground, and it was probably my most difficult save of the day. But other than that, it was nothing too crazy. It just felt good to be right back out there.
Well, you also had another one, too, where you kind of went to your right and you stretched out with the right arm. Physically, how did the arm feel tonight?
Well, it was a shot from, I think, Capono from out maybe 35 yards, and he hit it pretty well, and it knuckled on me. And I thought it was wide. I wasn't really sure, so I went ahead and made a play on it anyway and just kind of tipped it out for a corner kick. So the arm felt fine. It was a one-handed save to my right, which up until 2 weeks ago I wasn't really supposed to do. But it felt good. I'm just really, really encouraged by the performance tonight.
Well, Scott, you got to do me a favor. You got to go home, listen to that Superman soundtrack I gave you, baby, because you are the new Man of Steel.
I got the cape in my closet at home. Maybe I'll break it out.
Scott, what'd you think about that for your introduction? Soccer Sam on the field, and then the Superman music is played. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, originally it made me laugh in the beginning, but it's a pretty nice stigma to have. I mean, Superman, so it's kind of cool. But I'm just so happy we won tonight, guys. You have no idea. I'm actually totally exhausted. 90 minutes takes a lot out of you. Even for a goalie, he doesn't really run around a lot. It's always on your toes, always moving forward, back, left, and right, and just I'm beat. So I'm going to go home, maybe have a cold one and call it a night.
For you haven't played in 4 months. You're going to go home tonight after playing 90 minutes. Your wife has been so supportive of you. Is it going to be a different scenario tonight than it has been the past 4 months?
Well, I'll probably go home and I'll watch the game just to kind of get an evaluation as to what we did good, what we did bad, so we can have a better idea. And then, we're right back to work tomorrow morning. We'll be out here getting ready for Puerto Rico. So, the weekend we got to start it off on a good note, but there's still some business left at hand, and then we can celebrate Monday and Tuesday.
Well, Scotty, I can't say this enough. It is great to see you back in the lineup. Have one for me, have one for Sam tonight. Congratulations and welcome back.
Thanks, guys. Take care. Great job. Scotty
Vallow, he was swarmed by the fans. It was like Beckham, our Beckham version of Rochester here. Scotty Vallow, congratulations. And like I said, I felt it up here. A different feel tonight with Vallow coming back.
Joe, the fans, the crowd here, that was an accident. If you saw the late arriving crowd, I think a lot of people read today's DNC and said, you know what, let's go to the game. Val's going to start. A lot of people didn't know up to yesterday if he was going to start or not. Come starts, our attendance was, I looked to me like the best attendance we had this year. And just the crowd was, I saw a lot of faces I haven't seen in a while. It was electric. And he just makes it happen. He pumps up his defense. T-Bone Bonsu played the game of his life, I thought.
He did.
In the middle. He played fantastic. And Novak, who I haven't been a big fan of.
First half, difficult.
Difficult first
half. Second
half,
comeback player of the game, without a doubt.
And John Ball, I don't know if he's auditioning for Carolina thinking, hey, Scotty Schweitzer's my buddy, but he played like he's never played in years.
He sure did. A great job by John Ball tonight, and the Rhinos 2-0 winners up over the Carolina Railhawks. Some chippy play, though, coming from the Railhawks.
Yeah, I think they're a little frustrated. You know, they're struggling to win games in regular season. I got that whole Open Cup thing to look forward to, but regular season, I doubt they're going to make the playoffs after this loss tonight. I doubt it very much.
Does Chris Katamides know this?
Well, I mean, I think he's probably saying the same thing. I mean, they need to win tonight. I mean, you don't know what's going to happen. This is going to get really critical now the last 2 weeks of the season because anything can happen to the 8 teams.
Nuts.
But I mean, I don't think Minnesota's going to make it. California's not going to make it. But then there's those two other spots, Joe, and I'm not sure if Carolina's going to be able to make it.
We will see. The number is 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. Trivia is still out there. Jamie Holmes was drafted by which MLS team in 2005? If you can answer that question, you've got 4 tickets to the Rhinos and Puerto Rico on Sunday. Go to the phones now, folks, and let's speak with Dion on the postgame show. Hello, Dion.
Hey, how you doing, Joe?
Good. How are you, Dion?
Hey, thanks for having me on. I just want to congratulate Scott Valor. Glad to have him back, man. He brings so much energy. He's truly an asset to our community.
Yeah, Dion, he did a tremendous job in the Nets tonight, and I know you're doing a great job as far as soccer, the community is concerned as well, with the River Flow Soccer Club, and you've got a bit of an announcement to make. Feel free, here's your forum, and go for it, baby.
Oh, yes. We're going to be having open tryouts at Dr. Freddie Thomas High School in the city this weekend, Saturday. It will be from 10 o'clock to 12, our boys. All boys of all ages, and also our girls' tryouts will be from 1 to 3. And what's interesting this year, we got a real urban-suburban program. We recently acquired 2 new coaches. One is Jeff Tucker and Bill McKee. Oh, these guys are awesome. The knowledge that they're bringing to the city, and let it be known that River Flow is not just for city kids. We have kids from all over Monroe County coming into the city to play this great game of soccer. It's a very, very new experience, and it's just taken off. So we welcome anyone out there. If you want to come and be part of a new soccer club in the city, come on down. You don't have to live in the city. Just come on down to Dr. Freddie Thomas tomorrow from 10 to 12 and 1 to 3 for our girls. This is the Rhinos. They're doing so much in the community, and we're just glad to have them. It just gives us more energy in what we're trying to do here in the city of Rochester.
Well, I'll tell you, Dion, this is what Joe and I would like to do. We have some sponsor tickets for Sunday. If our producer will get your phone number, and I'll call you after the show here, and maybe we can work something out where the kids that come to try out and make it, and you want to give them some tickets to Sunday's game, we have tickets from Nothnagel, tickets from Zweigel's, Sullivan Learning Center, and Food Link. We have a bunch of tickets that they gave us to do some nice things in the community with, and I'd love to do something for you Sunday. So we're going to get your number after this call, and we'll hook you up, my man.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, man.
All right, Dion, thanks for the call, and listen, best of luck with the River Flow tryouts tomorrow at Freddie Thomas. And one more time, what are the times?
10 to 12 o'clock for boys ages 8 to 17, and for girls it's going to be 1 to 3 ages also 8 to 17.
Dion, make us proud. You're doing a great job. Good luck. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Dion Rogers, the president of the River Flow Soccer Club. A little love for my boy, and let's go back to the phones. The number 346-3000, and Steve is next on the postgame show.
Hey guys.
Hey Steve, how are you?
Good. How are you guys? Great.
We're
night
good.
tonight,
Happy to see Vallo back.
For a couple things, trivia guess. Kansas City.
Kansas City's a good guess, but not correct.
Okay. I really like Holmes up top with the yellow. I think Holmes. But was this his first game?
He played in Montreal, hit the crossbar on Sunday.
Oh, okay. He looks good. I really liked him. That was a great game. I think the referee though was very inconsistent. Much too many fouls and weren't called. They got to crack down on his clutching and grabbing and tackling. I'm not talking about soccer tackling. I'm talking throwing guys down on the ground tackling. I mean, it just doesn't belong in soccer. The game was a little bit too chippy there, and I think it's something the referees have to address. They need to address some rule changes after the season's over. But so that's it. One more thing is you can't hear. You got your post game show. You can't hear it. The signal's so weak. Driving home, there's so much interference going on. You got to talk to 1040 about trying to get some more wattage at nighttime. It just doesn't work. It's hard to hear your show.
We've heard that a lot this year, and what's happening now, Steve, is there's an issue with the FCC. After such a certain time, the FCC is forcing 1040 to power down, so that's where we lose the signal. During the day, yeah, it's terrible. I agree.
Crazy. You can't hear. You guys got a great show. You can't hear. It's frustrating.
Government.
Great game tonight. Great game tonight. Great to have Bell back. I really like you said, I was impressed. Rhinos easily could have had 3-4 goals. I don't know how he blew that 2-on-1. There was other great chances in the middle they just didn't put away. But great game. Hopefully we can continue on against Puerto Rico and get some steam rolling to playoffs and make another championship run at the. That's what I'm hoping for.
Well, Steve, thanks for the call, and hopefully we'll get this nighttime signal thing figured out. We appreciate your time. The number is 346-3000, star 1040 on the Verizon Wireless. Let's take a break. When we come back, trivia is still out there, folks. Jamie Holmes was drafted by which MLS team? You got a chance to win 4 tickets Sunday against Puerto Rico here at Paytech Park. This is the Heineken Direct Call-In Show on the Rhinos Broadcast Network.
Brought forward by Ball across midfield, chasing behind by Steele. Turns it to the right side. Holmes blocking it forward. Moving it right footed blast. In. Scores! Jamie Holmes. First goal as a Rhino. Bested inside the left post. Beautiful feed from Ball, and the Rhinos up 1-0.
Welcome back to the Heineken Direct Call-In Show. This is the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Joe Giuliano with Soccer Sam. Final score this evening, Rochester 2, Carolina 0. Trivia is out there, folks. Jamie Holmes was drafted by which MLS team? Give us a call, 346-3000. Sam, what do you say we go back to the phones?
I want to talk to the people tonight.
Henry, you're one of the people tonight. How are you? Welcome to the show.
Hi, good evening. I'm glad to say that I was very impressed with the game. First of all, we got 3 goalies. They are at a very good level. And I was very impressed from the new player, Ginny Holmes. And I just want to give you an advice to the owners of the team that if they want to keep winning, I think we need 4 to 5 new players. I believe that for every good investment, there's a good payback. And if we want to continue in playoffs to be successful, I recommend to bring players in the caliber of Ginny Holmes. What do you think?
Yeah, Henry, I was very impressed with Jamie Holmes tonight, and even on Sunday, he's got a nose for the goal, and if you can keep finding players like that, by all means, we have to bring them in, but it's not as easy as people think, and a lot of guys are under contract for 2 years, and it's just it's a kind of a luck of the draw. Hopefully they'll continue finding players like him. What do you think, Sam?
Anyway, it looks great. I think we're going to be better and better every game.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think we definitely have better things to come. Players are trickling back in from injuries, and we've had a tough stretch. Now we've got to get that upswing going as we approach the playoff.
Yeah, I think we're going to do it.
All right, Henry. Well, I'm happy with the positive call from you. I'm really impressed. We can't sign any more players for this year. There's a deadline on the signing, and there is guaranteed contracts, and that kind of hurts the league now. It helps the players, so if they sign with a team, they're guaranteed for the whole year, but it hurts the team if a player is not performing well. You can't just cut him anymore. You're stuck with him. So, but I think we've got a great team this year, and I think we're going to go into the playoffs and win the championship. Thank you, Henry.
Wow.
Yes.
Thanks for the call, Henry. The number is 346-3000. Let's go back to the phones. And we have Adam on the line. Good evening, Adam. Welcome to the postgame show.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
We're hanging in there after a big return by Scotty Vallow.
I know. I'm very pumped that Vallow was playing today. I'm tired. Very pumped. Doesn't sound like it, but I am. Yeah, go Rhinos. Yo, trivia. LA Galaxy?
LA Galaxy, good guess, but not correct.
Oh. Adam, when Vallow came out, I heard the crowd and I heard you guys. Dude, it was just something really special, man. It was just so special.
Well, it is. I mean, he is. I mean, it doesn't happen often to teams, you know, you give a field player that's like the player, but for us, Jeff Bell is the Rhinos, man. He's fine. He's the face of the team. So that's why it's so energetic when it comes out. It's very good that he's back. As long as we've got a keeper that can take us to the championship. And I agree with you, Sam, for one. I think we can win the championship.
I've never heard Adam this tired or drawn out after a game. He must have been going at it pretty hard.
Well, yeah, we've definitely going hard. I mean, we played soccer for the past 2 days as well, for like 2 hours. And then jumping up and down today and cheering definitely takes a lot out of you. But, I'm there all game long. He was just when jaw shot. He did good.
Adam, we're losing you on the connection here. I apologize. Trying to make some technical adjustments. You still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, that's better. So Sunday, you guys going to go at it and do your thing again, or what?
Oh, definitely. Definitely Sunday.
I got a question for you regarding the Stampede. I look at these web boards, and the people from Montreal keep saying, when are you guys going to come up? When are you guys going to come up? Have we seen those guys here yet?
Not in like 5 years.
So I think it's time for those guys to make a trip here.
Yeah, I think I kind of saw maybe the last game in 2001, and that was the last time they came. But yeah, I mean, we tried going. Just the past few weeks, like a week ago, we tried going. Couldn't work it out because I had work. Couldn't get off. People are going around looking at colleges about them. We'll look at the 31st as well, or whenever it is when we go over there. But the same thing.
Adam, are you there?
Adam's tired. I think his phone died, or he fell asleep.
He might have passed out.
He is exhausted. Final score just in, folks. Atlanta 3-0 over Puerto Rico. That means right now the Rhinos have sole possession of fourth place, and the top four get the bye in the playoffs there, don't they?
That's awesome.
That's good news for the Rhinos. Atlanta 3-0 over Puerto Rico, and that's a thrashing.
Yeah, I'm
we'll
surprised.
see what the Islanders have left on Sunday.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game Sunday, 6 o'clock. And Joe, I'll tell you, Adam, the best visual that I remember is Adam and a bunch of Stampede members and Safari members. We all went to Montreal a couple years ago, and Adam's brother Lucas got popped in the face earlier on by the Montreal fan base. So talk about a trooper. This kid had a bag of ice on his eye, and he was cheering the whole game. One hand with the bag of ice on his eye, and the other hand, he was just cheering the whole game nonstop. He didn't take a break. And it was just wild, but it was one of my scariest moments. That group, they were going to attack our bus, and I felt responsible because I helped organize the thing, and I was like, oh, man, I'm done. But
sure, come on up. It's safe. No problems.
Yeah. But Lucas and Adam have been troopers for many years with this team. And the last time Poland played in a World Cup, in a World Cup game, they were both on respirators after the game because they got so excited and they were cheering so long. But they're good guys.
Let's go back to the phones. And Mr. Holmes, Jamie Holmes' father, is now joining us on the post-game show. Mr. Holmes, I believe you're on next on the post-game show.
Well, thanks, guys. I just want to call in and just want to thank the Rhinos organization and thank Coach Callaway for giving him the opportunity. He can continue to contribute to the team and take them to the playoffs and back to the championship this year.
Well, you should be very proud of your...
Absolutely. Home sweet home.
You should be very proud of your son. He did a great job in Montreal, and tonight, I'm not sure if you saw the game, scored a beautiful goal here tonight.
We were there. We were right behind the goal, so we were there. Absolutely. We just live right down here in Fairport, so we come up and watch quite a number of those Rhinos games. So we're definitely watching all of them now.
So you were here in Rochester?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought you were calling from long distance. That's awesome. So you came. I'll tell you, your son. I said on the post-game interview on TV that he's got the kind of look of a David Beckham, and he said, well, his mom thinks so, but he's got the look that can sell tickets, and he can play the game too. So I can't wait to see this kid explode.
Yeah, well, we're looking for great expectations, and again, help the team. It's a shame he didn't get that assist there offsides with the mid, but hey, Sunday's another game, and we'll keep on working towards it. So, thanks, guys. Home sweet Holmes, and Viva la Revolution.
No comment. We're not even going to touch that one. He's killing me with that. Thanks for the call tonight. You should be proud of your son, Jamie Holmes, scoring in the 11th minute. Great ball from Johnny Ball. You can hear the fireworks in the background over on Lyle Avenue here coming at us.
No, we're celebrating after the game.
Oh,
the players our players having a little party back there. But
nice.
But Jamie Holmes, he is something special. But John Ball that was a great finish by Holmes. But John Ball was getting mugged in midfield by John Steele. Grabbing his hair, grabbing his back. He just kept on going straight, gave him a perfect ball. And Jamie Holmes could finish. I mean, we talked about last week, 3 goals, 3 assists for Wilmington Hammerheads. And we thought, Wilmington, I struggle with that. So I thought to myself, why bring in another forward? Seaver's not getting any playing time right now, or not enough playing time. You got Deli going to be back soon.
Yeah.
But after seeing this kid play, he's the real deal. Number 9, this kid is going to be a big star in this franchise. So. I'd sign him long-term contract immediately. He's got it. I said a house is not a home without Jamie Holmes, baby.
And whatever MLS team drafted him, I'm surprised that it just didn't take off for him. I was extremely impressed with him up top. He's a beast up top, and this might be a bit of a stretch. Kinaya-like.
Whoa.
Kinaya-like with the size and
solid.
The shot and the way he looks. I just thought a little Kinaya, not a lot, but a little bit.
He's the total package.
Yeah, he's going to be solid.
His coach with the Hammerheads is good friends with Laurie Calloway. I neglected to write down his name, but that's what he said in the interview, that the coaches talked, and his coach Rob said to Calloway, this kid should be in MLS. You better sign him right away.
Wow.
And we did, and I see some big things happening for Jamie Holmes.
Now, he's still here only on a loan basis. Is that correct?
Right. Right now, I think he's on a loan basis, but I guarantee Matt Ford's probably got him in the office right now. He sign here. Just sign here. You're good. You need that apartment? Sign here. Sign here.
He's a young kid, too, so the future looks very bright for Jamie Holmes. Trivia is still out there. We've got to take one more break here, folks. Jamie Holmes was drafted by which MLS team? Give us a call, 346-3000, star 1040. This is the Heineken Direct Call-In Show on the Rhinos Broadcast Network. Welcome back. This is the final segment, folks, of the Heineken Direct Call-In Show. 346-3000. We got 4 tickets for Sunday's game against Puerto Rico. Jamie Holmes, the Rhinos' newest forward, was drafted by which MLS team in 2005? Give us a call, 346-3000. If you're just tuning in, Rochester 2-0 over Carolina. Miami 0-0 with Montreal. Atlanta 3-0 over Puerto Rico. That is a final now. So the Rhinos in sole possession of 4th place. Atlanta right behind the Rhinos, though, with 32 points. And we said it during the break. Carolina, Sammy, we think the wheels have fallen off. And what's going to happen there? They're going to make the playoffs.
When you look at their roster, I mean, they look really strong. Some things just not working right, Joe. But hey, let's think about us tomorrow or Sunday here, Puerto Rico, 6 o'clock. The first 3,000 fans get a Heineken koozie. If you got to be over 21, so bring your ID this Sunday. It's big. They're cool little jerseys that fit over a pop can or a beer can. Saturday the 18th, Minnesota. 7:30, you go on, and then Don at 8 o'clock. It's an 8 o'clock game on Saturday, August 18th. The Rhinos are in Minnesota. And then the next home game, baby, that I'm excited about is Friday the 24th. The Montreal No Impact come to town. The true rivalry of this team. 454 kick. You better get those tickets right now because this baby's selling out. I'm out.
I hope so, Soccer Sam, and thanks for all your help tonight. Great job introducing the players, taking care of the TV duties at halftime and postgame as usual. Great stuff from Soccer Sam. The New England Revolution. They were the team that drafted Jamie Holmes in the 2nd round of 2005. That was the answer to our trivia question tonight. Thanks for everyone who called. Thanks to Don Stevens, Soccer Sam, our producer Nick Busco. We're going to wrap this thing up with the final score of Rochester 2, Carolina 0. You have been listening to the Raging Rhinos Broadcast Network.